It reminds me of Friday night, the glitch. It took a while to fix. Let me get this fixed. Wait, okay, one more time. Smooth. I should acknowledge you first. That's why I got stuck. Smooth. Get in there, man. You know what? I'm going to work on it. There's something going on here. Have I finally how many years have I been doing this, right? Have I finally broke it? No, it's okay. I found out I got certain things I eat cause excessive phlegm. And then, of course, I can't scream. I will in a minute, though. I'm not done. Fam, I tell you what. Oh, happy Friday night to you, first of all, and weekend time. 49er Friday night time. And fam, I'm looking around at players now. Ellis, I've looked at a couple of names. I didn't respond because I was quick. My day is like boom, 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 boom. Everything is. The only time I rest is when I'm like, I don't know when I rest. Anyway, I've only got a few seconds to do everything, but Ellis, I'm gonna get back to you. Promise. Bam. But Texas corner, this dude JAHDAE, he might be Salah style. 49ers quarterback room is a JAHDAE BARRON away from being elite. Let me jump on this. It has been mentioned by Niners GM John Lynch when asked about the replacements for a few players, and not just a few, just too many, that were the reason for the success of the San Francisco 49ers over the past several years. John, he spoke confidently about a plan to replenish the roster through the draft, up to which we all said, say what? John, really? I mean, here's the thing, fam. The reason why, and we were justified in doing so, we've been used to a high-performance red and gold machine that just gets it done. Going into every week, we pretty much assume that the other team was going to get dog-walked. And the majority of the time, it has been the case down through the years, right? So, for Lynch to say he's going to replace all what took how many years to build in 1 year's draft, well, I mean, last year did a pretty good job in the draft as well. But to tell us that you're going to go in there and replace all them dogs in the draft, it's a bit much, isn't it? But we'll see. We'll see. Because nothing's impossible. Meanwhile, most Niner fans are certain that the top priority reach in the draft has to be in the trenches, right? I've been with that. That's the camp I've been in the whole time. There's some reasons, though, why we might consider some of the narratives that are going around the media. Last season, the team was in a similar state of need, remember? Oh, hell yeah. We're always crying about that offensive line. They stink. They suck. The quarterback's getting killed. And it's not just the one we got now. It's been for years, right? So, who amongst us would have guessed before draft night, University of Florida wide receiver Ricky Pearsall was going to be the 49ers' first-round pick? In fact, a lot of us are saying 49ers going to draft up to get that demon they need. Yeah, we might trade down to get some extra picks. Yeah. Ricky Pearsall. He may have been on the big board the whole time. Now, there are speculations that maybe the 49ers were looking for something else, but they got pulled, and they went to Plan A or Plan B, and then that Plan B got pulled. Maybe Ricky Pearsall, we're never going to find out, but maybe Pearsall was Plan C. Not necessarily the first person they were going to pull from the draft, but he was on the board as the highest next pick if we can't get these other two guys. So, media speculations for the biggest need for the 49ers has become a pretty much a constantly shifting narrative anyway. Every time you look in there now, it's going this way. They're going that way. Some have even done the Jalen. The 49ers go pick up a running back in the first round. He said, shit. If they do, somebody needs an ass whooping. So, to the phones we go for your take. First on your confidence in the current Niners secondary going into the 2025 season, and where does the secondary rank regarding your draft priorities? God, I love this team. There's so much. There's such a mystery. You almost need to get. I mean, the 49ers case almost has to be sent to Scotland Yard every year to see what are they doing. Shannon and Lynch have done a great job of keeping us in the dark up until draft night. That Ricky Pearsall pick, I was ambushed. I think most of us were. I'm not mad at it now. I like him, but we're still lacking that same department we lacked in last year. And top quotes. I always love to pick out the best quotes I can find. Usually they make me laugh, but this one is kind of in between. I mentioned this last year. I'm taking credit for it. Hell yeah! Brock Purdy admitted on the Built for More podcast. Quote: and then last year, man, guys were tired. That season is no joke. And when you go from July of training and everything all the way to the end of February, and then you really get 5 weeks off or so until you got to report back, and then you're going to again, and guys are tired. They're still beat up, their bodies, unquote. I've already heard it, man. Social media, I ask about this. Boy, people are not, there ain't no love or sympathy for that. In fact, some people are downright pissed off. Is it? Oh, yeah, getting paid millions to get tired. Right. I really got a kick out of a couple guys. Construction, yeah, you ought to work construction for a year. I did. I said, I don't know, guys. Playing football, that's really an intense thing to do. You can go back. There's ways to, whatever job you do, there's always ways to goal brick if you want to. If you get really worn out and tired, you call in sick. Or you just don't even, or you find a way to go hide in the bathroom or something. But, it's just not the same. I feel you on that. And they're not getting paid too much money to admit to being tired. But I got sympathy for them. Year after year, going deep into the playoffs and having just a few weeks off. Football, if you ever played football, even in high school, the football season was over. You was all right with that. As much as you couldn't wait. In the spring and summer, ready, let's get ready, man. After all that, about 5 or 6 weeks into that program, you start saying things. Ankles hurting, man. I'm gonna get through this, man. I'm all right. I'm all right. See, it wears you down. It's not compared to any other job. Not really. ESPN Adam Schefter regarding Brandon Aiyuk. Nobody wants to take on the contract when you don't know when the guy is going to be healthy again this season. Goes on to say, but from what I understand, Dr. Neil Elatrachi is pleased with his progress. He's coming along. Unquote. Yeah. Really? Okay. By the way, Schefter goes on to say, though, quote, I would think he's ready to play by mid-season, and there might be a team out there that is willing to basically not give up very much to get a great player who's coming off the injury. But the point is, if that trade doesn't materialize by Tuesday of next week, it's not happening at all because the 49ers aren't going to pay a $23 million roster bonus and then wind up dealing him this summer before the trade deadline. Just not going to happen, unquote. I think on this particular day, Schefter says a lot of things that probably can be questioned. But on this day, somebody handed him a Bible, told him to put his hand on there and ask him to swear to tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, and that he did. Ain't no way in hell somebody's going to trade for Brandon Aiyuk between now and next Tuesday for the reasons that we just said. And the 49ers, you know how they are. Well, we got offered a 6th and 7th round pick, but we didn't think that was worthy of Brandon Aiyuk, and nor was it going to satisfy us. Truth is, there's probably not that many people call it. You got to say those kind of things in order to draw others that may think, well, let me give him a shot. It's a joke. Every GM in the league knows better. So what's going to happen? And he's right. The 49ers pay him all that money next Tuesday, which they are. They're not about to get rid of him after that. So we can just get off that case right now. If it does happen, why can't we? You know what, that hour, I don't care what time it is, I'm busted in. We're going to do the show. Fam! They went and did that. No, they didn't. They did. So, we'll see. I don't think so. Charles C. Yes, draft JAHDAE BARRON and trade Diamador Lenore, Charles. Charles, you don't take away from Peter to get Paul. Listen, Charles, I need Jaron to join the crew, okay? Get out of here. Because listen, D-Boy did nothing wrong to be thrown off of this team. Now you put JAHDAE in there. JAHDAE. He looks like JAHDAE. He's still JAHDAE. He's not a Muslim. I don't know. He might be. But JAHDAE in there with those two. We lost. Remember, you lost Mooney Ward. Ain't nobody trying to get rid of people that could play. Thanks, though, Charles. You know, you can call it in, Charles, so I can just whoop you, okay? Fam. Remember under the guidance of D.C. Steve Wilkes, who Kyle Shanahan embarrassed at the Super Bowl and fired subsequently a few minutes later to be exact, how the 49ers pass defense went from leather tough during that Super Bowl 58 season to absolutely invisible this past, very forgettable 2024 season. Supposedly, there's an abundance of talent in this year's 2025 NFL draft that could provide the Niners with opportunities to significantly improve that secondary. Now, unlike Charles, I'm not talking about getting rid of nobody that could play. I'm talking about adding a couple of more. Now, I'm talking about cornerback specifically, though. There are plenty of suggestions by the Mel Kiper Juniors of the football community, so I just picked one of them. Now, at pick number 11, overall draft pick, you can land one of the best corners to be found in this year's draft, right? That's high. 11 is good, especially for, you consider the quarterbacks will take up at least 2 or 3 spots. Defensive ends are going to take up a couple of spots possibly. Now, here come the CBs. Or linebackers in some cases. Texas cornerback JAHDAE Barron has become a favorite among the mock draft experts anywhere, including NFL Network's Daniel Jeremiah, of whom is projecting the talented Longhorn to the Niners in his mock draft 3.0. Went and checked him out just on the strength of that as I was zooming through the net. Fam, because you know I don't watch college players a lot. The boy can play. I said, damn. Whoa. That's higher level. That's upper level. That's not college. This kid's a little bit ahead of himself, isn't he? JAHDAE already thinks of himself. He says, "Yeah, you know, coach, I may end up coaching at some point." He's cocky too. Don't ever get a laid-back, quiet, reserved cornerback. Don't put him on your team. He ain't got no heart, and usually that's the case. So, great instincts, nose for the ball. Hits like a damn gladiator. I mean, you know, this dude, Jeremiah wrote, Barron is one of the most consistent players on tape amongst prospects in this year's class, and he can take that ball away, and he does. His anticipation is brutal. He'll be able to match up against some of the talented slot receivers in the division. Unquote. Fam. If the 49ers focus on selecting a defensive back at number 11, Barron and Michigan's Will Johnson are the most likely options, according to James Jeremiah. I went and checked out Will. Will 4'3". Dude moves around the field like a bullet. He's just too little for me. I don't think he could. He could toughen up. Boy, he could play, though. And if he snatches the ball from a quarterback that made a mistake, goodbye. I mean, he's got a 4th, 5th gear. Why, he flies down the field. You know what Kyle Shanahan will do, though? Kyle will look at that and look at him as a first-year player and put him on punt return. You know he will. So, you know what? I don't know. Barron won the Jim Thorpe Award last season as the best defensive back in the entire nation, registering 5 INTs, breaking up 11 passes, recovering a fumble. Plus, he brings experience. The dude is obviously smart. Watch the tape on him. And versatility, he brings it to the next level. He reminds me, JAHDAE B is expert in self-promotion, too. He was talking it up on a scouting combine a month ago, saying, I like quarterbacks that talk trash. That's my dude, man. Quote, I played dime, corner, safety, and nickel. having that in my bag and knowing I can be moved around and to benefit anybody's team, I know that will help. Hey, you go ahead on, dude. Yeah? Shh. I've always been one to advocate, though, if I have the pass rush from hell, the secondary only needs to be good or adequate. And that'll be fine. Now, that's pretty much where I've always been on that. Raymond, you know what I'm talking about. Raymond is hardcore all about the cornerbacks, all about the secondary. Raymond used to call in. We should get some hardcore arguments. I said, Raymond, man, come on, man. If you ain't got no frontline defense, that secondary is going to be toast. They're going to be raggedy by the second quarter, man. Get out of here with that. Give me a frontline rush. I've softened my stance on that a little bit. I still think, help is needed, though, that 49er secondary. Because after Demo and Renardo Green, there are question marks, even though Charles likes Darrell Luter Jr. ain't showed me nothing yet. So I ain't getting rid of Demo, Charles. Mooney Ward is left. As far as corners go, during the Niners' 2023 Super Bowl run, they were the NFL's only team that recorded more interceptions, 22, than touchdown passes allowed, 20. Well, he was on it. See, Steve Wilkes, man, we got on Steve Wilkes. Some of us did. I was sort of like in between because I don't know, man, if that dude's as bad as we think he is. That secondary looks pretty good. Now, all that happened during the regular season. Last season, the Niners were, they're absolute, well, I'm sure were an embarrassment. When it came to generating takeaways, Niners came up with just one INT in the final 9 weeks, fam. 9 games of the season. I know they were tired. You know what? Here's the thing. The 49ers were tired from last season, and then the NFL schedule makes it say, it ain't tired to say, go, B. Yeah, oh, man. The schedule from hell. So now you got a beat-up, tired team and schedule them for a lot of games within a certain amount of days. And people bring it, well, how about the Chiefs? How about the Chiefs? They got their ass handed to them in the Super Bowl. And actually, the Chiefs glided along all season, winning by the skin on their teeth. Granted, that takes a certain amount of character and fortitude, will to win. I gave it to them. But the Eagles wasn't playing that. They had to pull the Eagles off of the Chiefs in the Super Bowl. A rested Chiefs team or normally, they wouldn't have beat the Chiefs 2 years ago. I don't care how good they were. They wouldn't. Niners came up with just one INT in the final 9 games of the season. As I mentioned, they came from cornerback Isaac Gideon, who went back and signed with the Saints, by the way. Thank you, Isaac, because you wouldn't, man. The 49ers starters, if they had a game this Sunday, who would they be? On the outside, the good guys in red and gold could be set for the coming season. Demo Lenoir, Charles' favorite dude, likely is to be paired up last year's second round. Renardo Green, he was on the phone with John Lynch. John Lynch, Renardo, you want to be a 49er? Coach, you got yourself a dog. He wasn't lying. I didn't know what else to expect, but Renardo Green could play some ball. And by the way, he was preparing for the draft, so he wasn't quite fully focused on football. He has time this year to get perfectly ready. I got big things in plan for Renardo Green. I can't wait to see his season. Oh, man. Javarius Ward, Rock Yassin, Nick McLeod, they're all gone, fam. Darrell Luter will return from injured reserve. Darrell Luter, man, that ball hit his ass. I'm getting to give with the mouth. It was, the ball hit his leg on special teams. Then to compound that, Ray McLeod tried to pick it up. They hit Ray so hard you could feel it from where we were sitting. Chiefs ball. Lost the game. Anyway, Luter's going to come back and try to see what he can do. Trey Brown, I kind of like him. Maybe he's always healed up. Maybe he'll be okay. If we can't get the cornerback that we want, the 49ers go ahead and get that beast for the defensive line. Guy can play. But still, 49ers do not have an obvious solution as part of their third down package when there comes when three corners are deployed out on the field. Barron would give Niners DC Robert Saleh some options with his ability to move around on defense and fulfill any number of assignments. He even told you he could. He's already proven he can. Smacks at Jimmy Ward. He really does. He may be even a little more athletic than Jimmy. And that's saying something. So I want to see this. But he's JAHDAE Brown, and he'll tell you himself, as he won't hesitate to do. Jay Barron has been quoted also saying, knowing and understanding all the positions, it benefits me just to be out there to communicate with other people. See, he looks like a kind of a take charge kind of guy, too. He goes on to say, I'm definitely comfortable playing outside, safety, or in the slot. You know what? Unquote. Still, though, some of these guys, they always have a great plan. It's like Mike Tyson's quote, right? So when they come to the NFL, all of a sudden it's that smack in the mouth. Do you still want to play? So we'll see. See if we get him first, because I think a lot of teams might want that kind of guy too. But fam, I still want an intimidating, frightening, head-hunting, bloodthirsty D lineman that has to be brought in on a cage. But when it comes to the secondary, the percentages are pretty high for success with high-profile collegiates with kick-butt resumes. Fam, if you didn't notice, and I imagine you did, we all did, the Niners picked up Solomon Thomas and Javon Kinlaw in round 1, didn't they? We can still be mad at that. And it's because this happened on Lynch and Shanahan's watch. The 49ers, and then they picked up Drake Jackson in the second round. We've yet to pick up a defensive lineman worth a damn in the draft in a while. I'm trying to think of the last. You know, the last corner we picked up in the first round was by Trent Baalke, Jimmy Ward. Remember? So I ain't mad at. I'm scared of the 49ers picking up a defensive lineman in the first round, but I think if you pick up a cornerback in the first round, the percentages of him coming in to succeed. Look at the cornerbacks they picked up in the last few years in the first round. Guys like Sauce Gardner. The Broncos, what is his name? Anyway, there's so many that look good in college, and they look even better in the pros. Jalen Ramsey. The list goes on and on. So, fam, are you going to be mad if we pick up a cornerback and pick number 11? I mean, you know what? I don't know. Could you trade down and pick up an early second for the defensive back and go ahead and get JAHDAE if he's still there at 11? Or you can pick up Will. He's too small, but still. Way to debate that, fam. What say you? Yeah. Hey, Matty!
Ronbo.
Matty, first of all, am I right? I'm thinking poor 49ers as far as being tired this last season, or do you want to offer some pushback on that? And give me that cornerback versus any other trenches, offensive or defensive line, because that kid, that Longhorn offensive lineman, could also be a dramatic. Go ahead, man.
Oh yeah, no, there was a little fatigue from the year before because we were just on fire the year before, so. And then it probably just got worse as the year went along. You know, people dropping off like flies.
Oh, man, with that schedule too.
That'll wear on you mentally, I think.
Yeah, absolutely.
So there's that.
Yeah.
But picking up a quarterback in anything but a late round, I think is ridiculous. First round pick for a quarterback, you can get a freaking break.
Well, you said quarterback.
What a waste.
A quarterback or cornerback?
I thought you said quarterback. Were you saying cornerback?
No. I said corner. JAHDAE is a cornerback.
Oh, okay, yeah, that would make sense. I thought you said quarterback for some reason. I'm like,
Oh
nah.
my God!
Corner, yes, corner would that'd be good.
Some people are
That'd be
saying
silly, wouldn't it?
Detroit versus everybody.
Nobody.
chill ass out of here. Hey,
Detroit's gonna suck this year.
you know what? There are some mocks that actually are designed to get you Shador and the cornerback. It's hilarious how some of these guys are making these things up. But no, cornerback.
Detroit
make no
smells like
mistake.
ass. I got nothing else clever to say.
if anybody
No,
else thinks I
Shador.
said quarterback, no, corner. Yeah, JAHDAE is a corner. But go ahead, man.
Corner.
Yeah.
That makes a lot more sense. That makes a lot more sense.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think this draft is good. I think this draft is going to be crazy, but it's like the same. We always talk about how we want an offensive lineman, and I just think it's hilarious that we never get one. At least not in the early round.
We got Michael
Seems to always
McGlinchey.
be a late round pick if we do get one. Yeah, like come
Hey,
on.
you know, I was pointing
I
out bad
forgot about
examples,
McGlinchey.
right? I'm pointing out bad examples. Solomon Thomas, Devon Kinlaw. I forgot about Mike McGlinchey on the other side of the trenches. We're worse than you remember Trent Baldwin.
McGlinchey wasn't as bad as
Javon
he was
and
better than Solomon
That's
Thomas.
true. Oh yeah. McGlinchey wasn't god awful, but we ended up saying bad things about him 2 or 3 years later.
Yeah, I don't know, man. He always seemed like a really good dude too. So I always seemed like
he's fun too.
I don't know. I always liked him anyways.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He wasn't awful, but
Good
he's
people.
one of the best
So-
road graders in the game. So he just would not protect the quarterback. That's
Oh,
the
yeah.
other thing. Yeah.
So yeah, it's going to be an interesting offseason. I think for us 49er fans, I think it's going to be one of our. I mean, we always have a lot to talk about, but I think this year is exceptional. You know, like last year we were just focused on a team like, and then the year before, what was it? A couple years before that, it was Bosa, or maybe it was the year before that. I can't remember. Time flies, and I get old.
You mean as far as people not wanting to sign their contracts? Yeah,
Contracts.
Actually, we can't really relax about what's going on now with Brock Purdy. Although, since the 49ers, most of what's being said is made up by writers, I'm not buying all of that.
Yeah.
But hopefully they'll get that done soon for their own sake. I think Jed has put his foot down on, listen, there's some things you guys do wrong each and every year, and I don't mind telling you that you drag out that process of re-signing people way too long, and it ends up biting us in the ass further down into the season, and it does. So
it does bite us in the ass. I don't think I think if we're swift with it, it shouldn't. I think Brock Purdy's got a different mindset about it than some of the other guys have had in the past.
Oh yeah.
So I don't think it's going to bite us in the ass like it did on some of the other characters that were doing that.
Yeah,
I just feel like he's going to handle it quicker.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He needs to get out on the field. Yeah, and he gets
It'd be devastating.
Oh, to say the least.
Yeah.
And then you know we'd entertain.
That's the last thing we need is Brock Purdy to hold out.
Oh,
So,
and can you see
what
Mac
now?
Jones from day one in the OTAs? So it seems that the
my
49ers
goodness.
are at a standstill with Brock Purdy as we enter OTAs. They're hoping to get that wound up before the OTAs is over, which is going to be another week from now. Mac Jones is now the starting quarterback.
That's crazy.
I can already see that. No.
No. That sounds like a horrible idea, man. But he was a first-round pick for a reason. Obviously,
was,
that
but-
obviously don't always work out. But
No, but it takes a while to get him up to speed. Brock's already up to speed. He just needs to come in and polish. We'll see.
yeah, no, Brock's our dude, man. I can't imagine him not being our man.
Yeah.
So that's just. I mean, who else are you going to get? I don't want Rodgers.
I mean, I'm glad to hear you say that, man, because it's very scary. The Rodgers is like the Kool-Aid, the Rev that poisoned and killed all those people a long time ago. Rodgers is carrying around buckets of that Kool-Aid. He just anytime he walks into a camp,
that's no joke.
take a sip.
Oh.
Cyanide.
They talking about the head of the gate, Cole?
He's such a drama queen too.
I know. No. So we're gonna find out.
We don't need that.
No.
We need a real tight locker room, man. We don't like if we were in a different position and we didn't have Brock Purdy, and let's say we're still rocking Trey Lance and we weren't winning shit for games. Yeah, bring him in.
Yeah.
Bring him in.
And people
But
probably
we're not there.
too. Man, we're gonna roll.
Yeah, I might would be too.
Yeah, I know, right? We might. But we don't have to say that, so we'll just say, okay, we're not taking Rodgers. Man, let me see you on Sunday. We're going to try to keep it tight tonight so we don't go too much overtime. People have been writing.
Yeah, no.
Hey, Ronbo, man, I'm waiting for 20 minutes.
Also going to say before I go, man, I lost my job with Subaru, so wish me good luck on, they just let me go the other day, so wish me luck on, I applied for sheriff's deputy and corrections. So wish me luck, man.
I'm wishing you luck, Matty, because you just got this. When you just got a job at Subaru. When you mentioned that just 2-3 weeks ago, I thought.
Yeah, they got done giving me a raise and telling me how good of a job I was doing, and they're like, "Oh, we got to let you go." I'm like, what the fuck?
Man, it's gonna be all right. You're a good guy,
anyway,
and probably a hard worker. And resumes, everybody reads them. They take you right in, so you'll be okay. Give you another 3 days, man. You'll be re-employed again. All right, fam.
Heck yeah, brother.
Faith you.
All right, buddy. Well, you gonna be back Sunday night?
Absolutely. Looking for you.
All right, buddy. I look forward to it.
Thanks, Matty. Looking forward to it exactly. All right, fam. Have a great night.
Love you like a brother, man. Night, buddy.
At you. Night, Matty. All right, let's go check out.
Night, buddy.
Smooth. But night, Matty. Smooth. Don't because you're so smooth. I like a under the roof inside the same old.
Ronbo.
That's Santana. Hey, Smooth.
Hello?
Come on in, man. Yeah, I can hear you. Get on in here, man. Smooth.
Yeah. Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you. Can you hear me?
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, I can hear you now.
All right. Well, Smooth.
Yeah, I missed you. I missed you the last time. Sorry about that.
I know there's other things going on that you may have to attend to, so we know you'll be back as soon as you can.
Yeah,
Smooth.
I know you said you came on Friday, but you did come on the day before. That's how come I missed you.
Okay.
Because you said you'd be on. Yeah, you said you had things to do.
Oh, that's right. I did. I was.
That's how come I missed you. Yeah.
And anytime I say that, it's usually because I got myself in a situation I can't get out of. But sometimes I get out.
Yeah.
Smooth. You know, the 49ers, Brock Purdy, he probably shouldn't have done it. But Brock went and told everybody, hell yeah, we were tired, man. I won't tell you the truth. I mean, guys are out there. We had 5 weeks to get over Super Bowl we lost and get back in here. And, guys are just, their bodies, everything, we're not ready. Okay, nobody feels sorry for millionaires crying about being tired, right? But, Smooth, you played ball before, and it does, your body does need a break. Go ahead.
Yeah, but when you up for a big contract off a rookie deal.
Yeah, the rookies didn't come in tired.
Yourself. Certain things you just don't say though. Then that's just good for you. That's just good.
Right. Wait. Brock wasn't speaking for himself, Smooth. He didn't say he was tired.
Hey,
he said other guys were tired.
But still, he effing up other people's money. When they try to go others now, the Broncos say, "Damn, we should have waited. we should have waited."
He said, "Stand up, towels, and tissues, coach. I know what you're thinking, man, but I need my raise, man. I'm tired. Man. I couldn't move my leg. When I got up one morning, I felt like I was getting out of my third body. Hey, Smooth.
Hey,
that I could see what you're feeling on that. But now also a cornerback, and I know you're looking at players. Cornerback in the first round, a guy like JAHDAE. Would you make that move at 11?
Oh my God! I got him one of my top 4 backs. I mean, him and Will Johnson.
Will's still I like him too.
Oh my God! Will Johnson from Michigan, 6'2", big.
Wait.
Solid like big corners. Just
wait a minute. Will Johnson 6'2"? He must have played against some big people.
Pounds, 4.39 speed.
I saw that, but he looks small.
4.39. Bruh, believe
Maybe
me.
he's playing against some big receivers.
JAHDAE Barron, he play anywhere in the backfield. He play left corner, right corner, free safety, strong safety.
I know.
Put him in the slot. You can put him everywhere. 4.39 40 out of Texas.
You talking about JAHDAE? You got a 4.39 for JAHDAE?
Yeah.
Because I saw 4.4.
Yeah, 4.39.
Well, that's close. 4.4.
No. 4.39. 439 40. I have here 5'11", 194. Then I have Benjamin Morris. He's out of Notre Dame. 6 foot, 190, 439. All on 439s.
Yeah. So if you go beat one of our guys downfield, it ain't gonna be them two. Yeah. So.
But them by my top three. But I say if I go 1-1, they neck to neck.
Yeah.
It'll be Barron. It'll be Barron and Johnson. But I say as far as Benjamin Morris, you can get him early, probably late in the back, first round, or early second round.
And you know we're early second round, by the way. We're in the top third.
Because DB's gonna be there. Because a lot of teams, they need O-line after what Philadelphia did. They're going to go O-tackle heavy. They're going to D-line. I'm telling you, copycat lead. They're going to go O-line, which we need to do because DB's going to be there. We can get some good DBs. And running back, you got running backs up below, bro. So don't worry about running backs. It's going to be a lot of good players. It's going to be a lot of good players after the draft, too, in free agency you can pick up. So the Niners going to do good in this draft. They're going to do real good. They can't go wrong. Whoever they get, number 11, he's going to be an impact player. You can't go wrong. There's too many. Especially the holes that we have, D-line, nose tackle, linebacker, safety, corner, guard, right tackle, left tackle. And if I'm going tackle in the first round, I'm going Kevin Banks.
Yeah.
Huh?
You're picking on my boy McKivitz?
McKivitz?
Yeah.
Man, I'm telling you, bro. We need depth. We need depth.
No. We need a starter at right tackle. I mean, I was just kidding. McKivitz got on my last nerve a long time ago. His name wasn't mentioned last year a lot because Purdy was helping him out.
We can get them. Kevin Banks, I love that guy. I love that kid. Out of Texas, 6'4", 320.
What?
Oh, we need him. He can play anywhere on the line. We can draft him, put him on to the left, to the right tackle. Then when Trent stepped down, move him over to the left. Yeah. Then we go draft another tackle behind Kevin Banks. So when Kevin Banks move over to the left, the guy that's behind Kevin Banks that we're going to draft in the first and in the second round, he can probably go in the first round too. He can sit behind Banks. Once Banks move over to the left, he can put right into right tackle. We're not losing a beat.
Boy, hey,
then we already got Pony right there. Huh?
We got to pull up a list of Smooth. Did you contact me yet? Because I want to ask you something. I gave you my email address last time we talked a couple times. Did you send me? Because I won't recognize if you don't put. But make sure if you send me an email, I'd ask you to send me. Make sure it says.
Soon. That night you sent me that. That's when I had that my family members.
That's right. Smooth. Are you feeling up to it now, though?
But I had.
Okay, you make up your mind on that. Whenever you make up your mind on that, no rush. Yeah. I'm just checking.
Okay. Oh yeah, I'm gonna get to you though. Yeah, I'm gonna get to you though.
Okay, if you do, make sure you indicate this is Smooth because if you got another name for your email account, okay, so I'll know.
No. It'll be that.
It's still Smooth. All right, Smooth. We go. I'm gonna tell you what. I'm gonna see you Sunday, Smooth. All right.
Okay. All right.
Fam. Appreciate you.
All right. Take care. All right, pal. All right.
Smooth.
All right. Later.
Let me back, fam. Let me, let's see. Harold McGallagher. Come on. Thanks, Harold. Ronbo's the best in the business. Hit the like. Thanks, Harold. Appreciate you, Phil. Harold, we've been doing this a long time together. Yeah? Your name, there's certain names I know immediately, you know? And you're one of them. Thanks, fam. Bring him in. It's that road service man himself, AAA. Aaron!
What's going on, Ronbo?
Aaron, I'm tonight. I'm on campaigning for sympathy for the 49ers, of whom Brock Purdy came out and says, man, we were tired, man. I got to admit, I'm going to tell you guys the truth, man. We were guys were all banged up from last year. We've won these deep playoff runs. we got to take off a few weeks and get back in camp and get bodies. Everybody was in bad shape. So, and I wanted to help him. And Brock, that schedule, it was, I mean, Brock, man, I started crying as soon as I saw y'all's schedule, man. They gave you 33 more games, man. You didn't have no damn rest. And so, you know, Aaron, the reason why also I wanted to help Brock out on that is because we got our ass kicked, unlike we've seen in years. Oh, we got beat up. So I was trying to find another avenue besides we just don't have a good team. So Brock, there's an avenue to go down. Oh, that pulls some of that shade off of us. We have reason to suck in 2024. A lot of people ain't buying it though, Aaron. I mean, how do you feel about that? Is that are you buying Brock's excuse?
I mean, I definitely totally agree with Brock because if you think about it, like we were in the Super Bowl like in February, but we lost. Then like 4 or 5 months later, you know, we go back to training camp in the fives were down, you know.
No,
For Brandon Aiyuk holding out.
Yeah, no, you mean 2 months.
Yeah.
It was a little over 5 weeks. Yeah. That's a little over a month. And get your ass back in OTAs. Yeah.
Yeah. And, you know, I mean, you know, they were tired. You know, I can tell because, you know, they've been to, you know, over the years, they've been to like four NFC championships and 2 Super Bowls. So yeah, that's going to take a toll on their bodies. So
how many teams can say they've been through all that since 2019? So yeah, well, except the Chiefs.
Yeah,
yeah, except the Chiefs. You know what? I was just throwing that out there, but the 49ers and the Chiefs have been in more playoffs than any other team in the league since 2019.
Yeah.
Which ain't, you know, maybe we didn't win nothing. We didn't win no Super Bowl, but still, that's a lot of work to have to come up short. Ray McLeod. Okay, anyway. All right. So we're on the camp, give the 49ers a break about all that work. Jump on the cornerback situation in the first round. Would you do that if one's good enough, or are you going to stick with the trenches?
So for me, I'm definitely sticking with the trenches because we definitely got to build out that D line to help Nick Bosa out. So
yeah, that's true.
And you mentioned about that defensive back from Texas, JAHDAE BARRON.
Yeah.
Yeah. He's a good player though, but I feel like we need more trenches on D line.
That's your priority, yes.
You know,
I understood.
So I mean we could definitely get a corner like maybe a good corner like in the 3rd round or 4th round. So, you know.
Well, you know what? Yeah, because the 2nd round, Aaron, what is the first round? You want to get a defensive lineman or an offensive lineman?
Well, I'm hoping we get an O-line, you know, to protect Purdy, but if they pick a D-line, then, I wouldn't be mad at it.
Okay.
So
that means in the 2nd round, you're pretty much going to do the same thing, offensive or defensive line probably, right? But whichever one they pick in the 1st round, you alternate that in the 2nd round and get that other side of the trench. Is that right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, because last year we drafted Bernardo Green in the 2nd round.
Yeah, and Bernardo's a good ball player. And there's a great example of why you could go ahead and get that defensive lineman in the 1st round and get another 2nd round pick. Can he be as good as Bernardo we're going to be higher in the draft in the second round this year than we were last year. We got Ronaldo Ray down there at 30 what? I mean 60 what? I mean 60 what? 60 62 somewhere in there?
Yeah, around that area from last year. So, and I mean, plus, in the secondary, you got Mala Mustafa too. So,
yeah, he's a safety. But for corners.
Oh,
yeah, I know what you mean by DB. Malik might be able to play corner, but I mean he's the hit man. I want him reminding people when they come barreling down the field. He's one of those guys. Yeah, y'all know I'm out here, right? Yeah, so that's Mustafa's role. So yeah, it's just a corner situation though. You got Demo, and you got Bernardo. They're probably going to play opposite each other, but we got packages out there with three corners. You need another guy. And I thought JAHDAE might be able to get that done because the guy we got, the ex-player from the Hawks, might help too, Trey. But anyway.
Oh yeah.
Anyway, you know what? I always seems like I always over. Listen, tell me to hush Sunday when we talk so you can get your thoughts in. I owe you AAA. We'll see you Sunday though, because we're trying to get everybody in within a short amount of time, so we don't make everybody wait forever on the phone. Okay. I'll see you Sunday.
All right, Ronbo.
All right.
You have a good night.
Thanks, Aaron. You too, man. All right. 49 Brian said, "It's my birthday today." For real? I'm Patrick Willis, number 52. Still destroying lambs every day. Then cut that neck for religious purposes. Let it bleed out send it to the gods. Happy, oh yeah, happy birthday to that marvelous me. Happy birthday, Nana style. Happy birthday to that 6 Lombardi. Waiting this year. Rams, don't say that. The Rams fans aren't as prominent here today. Good. It seems to be. Happy birthday, Brian. Brian, happy birthday to you. Red and gold style. Just have 52 more, will you please? And in that length of time, we should have 10, 11 of them Lombardis. Hey, yo, Steven. Don Bird, don't come back in here, man. I got another flag.
What's up, Ronbo?
Hey, Steven, come on in, man.
Hey. So, who's this out here that is a corner that's like kind of short but runs a 4.3? Who is that?
Okay, Smooth thinks he's 6'1". He doesn't look 6'1" to me. That's Will. Will, what's Will's name? Will. His name is Will. Oh, Will. Is it Will? Not Will Brown. Anyway, he does run a 4.3. That's confirmed. But I don't know, 6'1", 6'2". Steven, you play ball. You remember always in the program how they would put people to be bigger than they were in a program? I think Smooth.
Yeah.
I saw it. I was watching him on the film. He does, unless everybody else is 6'4", 6'5". I didn't see him at 6'2". So anyway.
Well, here's the thing, too, Ronbo. You gotta remember this. The taller you are, the slower you'll actually be. And a lot
as
of
far as
people
reflexes,
say,
yeah.
No, that's not true. Yeah, it's all reflexes. I mean, really, I'm not saying you got to be like 5'4" to be a corner, and we expect big things from you. No, like if you're 6 foot, 5'11" or 6'1", that's like the perfect height for you to be corner because you need to be agile. Your reflexes are going to be off the chart.
That's why little guys are usually the ones in the corner. Yeah. Will Johnson.
Yeah, exactly. There we go. Will John. So think about it like this, Ronbo. Imagine he's backpedaling, right? And you're running, imagine you're running forward and he's backpedaling. Now, if you cut a route, he can automatically twist himself just because his reflexes are going to be a little bit more of a step ahead. I mean, I'm just, I don't know.
You got to have the thinking. But you're right. No, you got to be able to flip your hips, and usually big guys don't do that. Richard Sherman was a freak, an anomaly. There's a couple more around.
Oh yeah.
But yeah, the smaller guys, coordination is a little different. He can flip those hips in a blink of an eye and keep up with that receiver. But yeah, you're right.
But check it, Ronbo. Here's the thing. I agree. I don't usually agree with a lot of things Smooth says, but this time I did. 100%. The Niners cannot go wrong in this draft. Why? Because everybody's looking for a running back and an offensive line. And we're one of those teams that's looking for just that too. But you know what? We can pick from the defensive tree as many players as we want.
Really,
and we can throw a dart. And it's beautiful. It's beautiful to say that because all the time we've been going into the draft the past 6 years, we've been looking at we need a quarterback, we need a receiver, we need, a defensive lineman, we need to get a defensive lineman, we got to get a, safety. Ever since we lost, what's his name, Jimmy Ward and Watsky T, we've been looking to replace that hole. Same thing with the corners, Emmanuel Mosley and Richard Sherman. We've been trying to fill that void. This year, man, I couldn't be more happy to be a 49er fan going into the draft thinking, oh, yeah, they're going to draft defense this year. I couldn't be any more happy. Last year, if you told me, oh, yeah, they're going to draft defense, I'd be pissed.
Steven, let me ask you a question at that point, though. Here's the thing. To your point, if now you come down at 11 and there's a great defensive back, there's a great defensive end, there's a D tackle, all those things are just bunched up there at 11. You got to make a choice. Now, do you take the BP A, or do you go ahead and go with need? Because going for need has not worked for us really well. You know what I mean? So I'm thinking, what do you do right there?
Desperate. Here's the thing. You got to go for needs. Simply because if you rush it, obviously like they have in the past, like with Trey Lance, great example. That's like the pinnacle example of they rushed and put all their eggs in a basket and it didn't work out. Because look at it. The same year that Trey Lance got drafted, Brock Purdy was on the back end because they weren't sure. For whatever reason, they just had that doubt that, hey, maybe we should get this kid just in case Trey Lance didn't work. They rushed to get Trey Lance. They panicked. They moved up to 3, and it bit them in the ass in the long run. But in this scenario, you can't, I don't see the Niners screwing up with a need because here's the thing. Talent on defense is plentiful. I mean, really, it's like if they say, oh, yeah, we need a defensive lineman, boom, you already got one right there. Just throw a dart. Oh, we need a DB. Throw a dart. We need a corner. Throw a dart. We need a linebacker. Throw a dart. You need a safety. Throw a dart. Doesn't matter where you go, you're going to get good talent. And that is such a rare occurrence. And I think I even said that once the season was over. I said, Ronbo, this draft, there's not a lot of offensive talent. There's a lot of defensive talent. And that's like the first in a long time. And the reason why I say that is true is because looking at the Legion of Boom class. Look at how long ago that was, and look at how much defensive talent came out of that class. I mean, really, like, how often is that going to happen? Not very often. You're going to have little dots here and there of undrafted free agents that are going to shine, and sometimes, maybe late rounders. But this year, Ronbo, talent is plentiful, and it is very apparent. But here's the thing. Wherever there is a give, there is a take. What I mean by that is the NFL is looking, a lot of teams in the NFL are looking at themselves like, do we have a competent offensive line and a competent running back room to do what Philadelphia did to get them that Super Bowl? Because if you really look at it,
they are.
If you really look at it, Ronbo, think of it like this. These guys ran the ball all season long. I want you to go back and show me one game where they had a air raid offense and tell me they won it. Because I can tell you right now, they have not had an air raid offense in any single game in the year of 2024. It was all run. Run this. Saquon, run. Saquon, run. Saquon, run. And it's like, and if you stop Saquon running, then you have Jalen Hurts running. If you stop Jalen Hurts and Saquon, you're getting a slant route to the tight end. You know, it's like
It's perfect.
you really can't. You can't. It's just you got to look at it. I mean, we have a great running back. We just don't have a decent offensive line. We got Purdy. We got Trent. Cool. We need a right guard. We need a nose tackle. And granted, I was hoping we'd re-sign Charlie Heck, but hey, you know, Niners no best, right?
He did get signed quickly, didn't he? Because he's that good. We saw it. Everybody else did. We gotta stop you there though, Steven. I'll see you Sunday, and let's see what develops next. Because we're trying to make sure we don't go way over time tonight.
Before I let you go, I'm sorry.
Real quick.
Scarlett's birthday is on April Fool's Day. She'll be turning 1.
Wait, whose birthday?
So I know I won't see
Scarlett.
you Monday.
Oh, hey. Well, let's do it Sunday. Because Steven, one thing I love about you, I can always rely on you being here. So I'll be back Sunday. You'll be back Sunday. Well, you got to do it. We 24 hours for Scarlett's birthday would be better anyway. Okay?
All right, Ronbo. I'll see you Sunday.
Looking forward to it, Steven. And happy birthday, little Scarlett already. We'll get a better. We'll celebrate even big time Sunday. All right, fam.
All right, Ronbo. Have a good night.
You too, fam. Mr. Block Ice, rest in peace, my Uncle Eric, best players for our roster. Hey, Mr. Block Ice. By the way, guys who thought that was Tony, clearly that's not Tony. Tony is one of the biggest protectors of Nikita on the chat. We got rid of the imposter. That was not Tony. There's no way that was Tony. All right, and let's go check him out. He's a king of the Dragon Clan, Papa Dragon Pop. And by Rams fans, stop. Why don't you guys have got nothing else to do?
Let's get ready to rumble.
Pop, how you doing, fam?
brother?
Oh man, I'm doing all right, man. You know, Pop, I'm loving this because tonight, as I'm trying to garner sympathy from my boys, as they came and talked, we was tired, man. We got out there, we worked our ass off last year, and we had 5 weeks to get back into camp. And I knew you work 'em, Pop.
This generation of snowflake football players is killing me. I never once in my life heard Joe Montana said I was tired. For the love of God. The man was in the playoffs 12 straight years. You never heard him say I was tired. Jesus H. Christ, what is wrong with these people? That's what you have a therapist for. Tell your goddamn therapist. The people who buy tickets don't want to hear that crap. You don't want to hear that. You just open up the floodgates of criticism. Oh, now, Al Shanahan doesn't condition his team. Who's the only team in NFL that's got something to say after they don't get the job done? Who's the only team?
That's why it's somewhat embarrassing, ain't it? Yeah.
There's two teams. There's two teams that's got something to say when they don't get the job done. There's two. There's the 49ers and there's the goddamn Cowboys. Are we the Cowboys now? When you
Lord
look at
knows.
the facts.
Oh, please.
The fact, I'm on a rant, Ronbo. The fact's quite simple. The 49ers are 0-38 when trailing by 8 points or more in the fourth quarter. That's the most in the league. That's over the entirety of Shanahan's tenure. However, they have a completely lopsided record when they run the ball for 30 times or more. So why are you putting Purdy in the shotgun?
Yes.
Period. So if they're going to fix this problem, they have to draft and they have to run the ball. Your defense is not going to be that great. How do you protect your defense? You run the ball. Hey, how do you protect Brock Purdy? Do you put a backup tight end on the number one pass rusher? No, you run the ball. Just run it. Whether you get 2 yards or 3 yards, you run the ball down their damn throats. You make them quit in the second half. You make them lose the next week. So it's very simple. The 49ers were 6-10 last year. Am I correct? 6-11.
Yeah, I was going to say you missed one
they
loss.
Have a losing team.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, again, it's the NFL. They're going to add a game, but they're not going to beef up the rosters. They're not going to say, "Hey, you guys we can add an extra round to the draft."
Yeah.
Yeah. Let's add extra round to the draft. Let's add 5 more active players.
And let's get 2 games. Let's have
guys.
2
These
games
guys
off
are
a year.
killing themselves.
Yeah.
Exactly. It's quite simple. To me, the draft is all about drafting the best available. It's very simple. If someone has a nickname of Freak, you draft them. It doesn't matter if he already got that spot.
Yes.
Javon Curse was called the Freak. You draft him. Randy Moss was called the Freak. You draft him. It's that simple. It's not. It's not rocket science. You know, Bosa was called a freak. He was the only one he didn't get right. I mean, he didn't get wrong. So it's very simple. If Abdul Carter, Travis Hunter, okay, Armand Nimble, those are your trade-up candidates. If they fall, you draft them.
Yeah.
Okay? If Aston Genty, Tyler Warren, Will Campbell, if these guys are there, you draft them. But if they're not, you trade back and get more picks. In my scenario of my draft, my trade down candidate was Kenneth Grant. Okay? And why? Because he's got long enough arms to play the position. You can be rated very high, but if you got 32-inch arms, Ronbo, you're not going to do shit. We've seen it happen before. We saw what's his name? We saw Bosa get straight armed by a quarterback because of his short-ass arm.
Yeah.
The point is, it's not hard. It's not rocket. They made that shit hard because you got somebody who's not a scout making the final call on draft picks in the first 3 rounds, that he's blown. And that's why they're in the situation they're in right now. So when I did my mock draft on my side, I wound up trading back. I drafted 14 players. Why? Because this team's got tons of holes. They got tons of holes. And this draft is deep as far as the comparison between the players. So the comparison is like so small that you can pick up a second-round talent in the 4th round. But it doesn't mean that this is this super-duper draft and the draft is going to save this team. It doesn't mean that at all. They still got to get back to a point where they can run the ball to milk the clock, to protect the defense, and to protect their quarterback, which will be Brock Purdy. Because it's going to be Brock Purdy because of money.
Huh?
Because of money. You cannot walk into Levi Stadium, raise your ticket prices, and not show up with Brock Purdy. Brock Purdy's going to get paid whether we like it or not. Do I agree with it? No. But business is business, and Brock is good for business. Trey Lance was not good for business. That's why his ass is gone. Trey Lance is not good for business. That's why his ass ain't in the league. This is a business.
Yeah.
This is not a sport. This is a business where we hurt each other.
Yeah.
People get hurt all the time.
Every
That's
day.
why you don't give these jackasses these giant $100 million guarantees for what? Can you guarantee me you're going to be healthy? You can't guarantee that.
Yeah.
So why are you giving somebody a guarantee? At least not, the guarantees are just too big. The salaries for positions are too big. Yes, they're saying, oh, well, the owners are making all the money. You damn right, that's called the owner. Now, before I leave, I want to point out something real quick. I know some people out there losing their jobs. It's happening here. Please, if you work for a corporation right now, please check the news. If you check the news, you'll see if your job is at risk. They're not going to say your job's at risk. They're going to say Subaru is cutting back and having a special sale before they raise prices because of tariffs. If you see a story like that, read it. Start looking for a new job if you work for Subaru.
Or
Make
another
America
company,
great again.
Because some people
do yourselves a favor, fam.
A snake bit like that.
It's already happening. It's already happening. So I'm just this friendly warning to all of y'all and prayers to all y'all because it sucks. I'm so glad I'm not in the workforce no more. But I can just tell you this. Overall, these are going to be some tough times for people. There's going to be a tough time to be a 49er fan. But the bottom line is this. They are banking on a weak schedule, and they are banking on Shanahan showing his worth. And if Shanahan shows his worth, Shanahan is at his best when he just runs the ball 30 times a game, no matter what. If he does that, and tell your players to stop talking to all these podcasts. Because you don't tell them, you don't air your dirty laundry on podcast.
Yeah, Micah. But we got
shout out to you.
Yeah, thanks, fam, and back at you. And it's gonna get better. It's got to, because it can't get no worse. 6 and 11. Oh my God! All right, all right, fam.
That's the team that they was, man. All right, shout out to you guys, man. Shout out to production. Shout out to the Tonys, and shout out to and happy birthday, that beautiful bastard. 49er Brian.
There you go.
Shout out to you, Smooth. Hang in there, guys. It'll get better. Prayers up.
Yeah.
Pops out.
I like Pop. And Chris, cool world. And do you think Joshua Dobbs will turn the Patriots around? Also, have a cup of coffee on me. Chris, you know, if Josh does, Joshua Dobbs is not the starter for the Patriots, is he? I thought
Oh, hell no.
their draft
He's a backup.
their first round draft pick is still sitting over there waiting. They gave him all kind of offensive weapons, though, Chris, Pop. So, yeah. All right.
Everybody's looking for a white knight, Ronbo.
Yeah. By the
ain't
way,
it.
I just
He ain't
somebody,
it.
Will Johnson.
I'm not even sure if Brock Purdy's it.
Somebody else said Will Johnson actually is 6'2". I'm not going to argue because I just saw him on the field, and I thought he looked a little small, but he's fast as hell. But then again, I'm the same guy that actually thought that Saquon Barkley wasn't that big either. I understand Saquon's 6'1". When Saquon's going down the field, he doesn't look that long, does he? That's interesting. Anyway, Will Johnson.
If you want a white knight, bring in White Trey from PA, baby. I'm here.
Perfect. Perfect timing, Trey. Come on in here, man. Trey, I'm trying to. I'm sorry. Brian's on the phone.
Ronbo, can you hear me?
Brian, yeah, I heard. I thought Trey was up. Trey, hold on. Brian, come on in.
Ronbo.
Yeah.
What's going on? 49ers, red and gold. I'm still rocking with the Niners until I'm dead and cold. Screaming the name all through the Mid-South because the law still says, know your role and shut your mouth. What it is, Ronbo.
Brian, I'm standing here because I'm pleading the case. I'm the counsel representing Brock Purdy and the tired 49ers. As Brock Purdy, for reasons unknown, decided to go on a podcast and tell everybody what probably some of us already knew but wasn't going to say it. Yeah, we were tired, and I'm going to tell you the truth, man. We came in and we did this, we did that, and after 5 weeks, we had to get back into camp and get back into this thing again. Guys are tired. That's no joke out there. And bodies were just, I'm reading it. Somebody already said, Brock, pump the brake, baby. What are you doing, man? And now, I put that on social media just to see what happened. Boy, everybody's mad. A couple of people sympathize, but 9 out of 10 people don't want to hear it. So, Brian, how do you feel about that? And also, for JAHDAE Brown is my choice. If the 49ers going to pick up a cornerback in round 1 or BPA, but as Pop just pointed out, you should get the freak. Don't worry about the next guy. If there's a complete freak at 11, you take him. You don't ask a lot of questions. You just take him. Because when you draft for need, you use up shooting yourself in the booty. But Brian, you know what I'm saying about the sympathy. You can always chime in on that and the pick.
I would say let me get this straight. So the pick. So they say in 11 we're going to go with who?
No. This is assumptions made by everybody. I'm saying JAHDAE Brown. Most of it. Don't you agree that we need trenches help? Offensive line, defensive line. Does it need to be helped?
By all means.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think this is what's going to happen, Ronbo. As I said before, for the 3rd week in a row, yeah. I said if we stay. If Jed York them, if they decide, because it kind of comes from up top, if they remain at 11, if they remain at 11, I think they're gonna roll defense. It'll be D-line. I think it'll be D-line.
Mm-hmm. I do too.
But
I did anyway.
Should they move or whatever? I think the first pick is gonna go to a trench. It's gonna be a trench, but more so the defensive player, because Robert Saleh, you got to appease him. That is so. I think at 11, it's going to go to defensive player. As much as we need to address the O line, especially especially if and when Brock Purdy's contract gets done, you're going to have to protect your investment.
And when
you saying that this is our Brock Purdy is our future and whatever, then you need to protect him. You can't wheel your way by the skill guys, whatever. You got to have line help. You got to protect him. Otherwise, he's not going to make it to his next contract.
Make it through the season, for that matter. I mean, yeah.
Yeah. Exactly. Yeah. So I think they're gonna go O-line. I think they're gonna go D. I think they're gonna do D.
Because you got lots of guys on
so.
offensive line. You don't have a lot on defensive line. You got 5 guys that I counted that can actually come in this week and play, and only one real starter.
You couldn't even tell me who was outside of Nick Bosa. I don't know nobody. So
you got Gross Matos,
and they got rid of Leonard Floyd because I think they were anticipating on getting
Bosa,
Nick Bosa's brother.
Yeah, I know.
Well, that fell through because he signed. Who he signed with? Buffalo? Was it Buffalo he signed with?
He's in Buffalo.
Yeah. Yeah.
So
Yeah.
They
cut Floyd
for that reason too. Because you're gonna give Joey 10, and you're not gonna give them both 10. So.
Yeah. Yeah. So right. Yeah. So I think that's where they're gonna go. We'll see. But it's gonna be a different team, Ronbo. I'm telling you. And the schedule that we have is gonna give us a chance. Now if we were going into the year, if we're going into this year with the schedule we had last year, oh my God. And the team that we had, so I'm like,
And 6-11, that would have been a big improvement over this year if we had the team this year last year. We would have back to 2-15. We were the first teams in the league go 2-15 since they moved up to 17 weeks. Oh my God.
Yeah.
But wait, I don't know about that. You know why? Because the guys that left, they weren't even playing that much. Most of them weren't playing most of the season.
No. And I think also, Ronbo, I'm going to tell you right now, I think if you ask me how much they're going to give him, they probably want to keep him in that probably maybe 50 to 55. I'm thinking, yeah. I think so, yeah.
I agree. They have to give him at least 50.
50, 50, yeah, 50, yeah. I'd say 50, 55. But anything more than that, no. Not coming off of 6-11.
They know that, and another thing that's what they could point to. We're in the middle of a rebuild, and it's going to behoove you, Brock, to make sure that we can keep a lot of protection around you and talented players. So
yeah.
Brock's. I don't see him being a hard ass though, fam. I do not, and I see Brock's asking his agent to pump the brakes on getting anything near $60 million. So you know, I can see that.
I think he wants to. Yeah, I think Brock wants to. He don't want no long holdout. You talking about somebody that was making. Brock was. I don't think Brock is going to be greedy. I think he's just going to get his worth. But, and he's not going to. I don't think he wants a long holdout or whatever. I truly believe that. I truly believe that. But at the same time, he wants to be well compensated.
Or respectfully compensated at the same time.
Respectfully, that's a good. Yeah. Respectfully compensated.
Yeah. Don't give me $40 million and think that's okay.
Yeah, we don't want anything ridiculous. Like Dak Prescott numbers.
That's going too far. But you got to say, what's his name? Nick Wright. Nick Wright. I mean, that's a dude. Him and Cowherd got together. And just mean-mouthed Brock Purdy like it ain't never. Boy.
Nick wrong.
God. What a jerk. Nick's just mad because Mahomes got 8 up in the Super Bowl. Because that's Mahomes' boy.
Right. Yeah.
Brad, we got to go, though. We're trying to keep things so we don't get people too far over the clock. We'll see you Sunday, though, okay? Appreciate you, fam.
Brother Ronbo, shout out to you, shout out to Faithful, and shout out to the production. The law is out.
Thanks, man. Appreciate you, fam. Have a great night. Oh, God. Hey, yo, E.
Ronbo, what's good with you?
Hey, man, as you might have noticed, I'm campaigning tonight for the sympathy of the 49ers, who are well-paid individuals that do have their bodies are human, that they can't go any further than they can go a little further than the average human being. Their condition is supreme. But year after year, filling up Levi Stadium and stadiums all over the country, the 49ers, after 5 or 6 years of hardcore competing and being in Super Bowls and NFCCGs, they got tired. They got tired, and people don't want to give them any love. Let us bow our heads for the 49ers who got tired and say this. Y'all better not come back tired this year. Okay, amen. Brock Purdy got on and announced that. Exactly. I had to laugh, but I could feel him on that. And, Also, you can give your opinion on the 49ers being tired is why they look like they did. And also, that number 11 pick, will it necessarily be a defensive lineman, an offensive lineman, or the BPA? Would you go which direction?
BPA. I'll say a word. I want to see if I can get back to it before we get off this phone. Oxymoron. Because it seemed like we want to tell the players what they need to do instead of the players who play the game trying to coordinate how the game should go. If that's making any sense.
Kind of does, yeah.
The owners is telling, if you don't play for me, I'll put you on a franchise tag.
Mm-hmm.
But you got to play better than your contract to get a better contract. If you play worse than your contract, like your draft day contract is set, you get a decent price. So your next contract is what you did from your rookie years, not what you did, what you're going to do, because you don't know that due to injury and all that other stuff. So it's like, to me, oxymoron. You want me to play hard, but then you don't want to pay me when I play hard. Or if I play soft, you want to play me as I'm playing soft.
Mm-hmm.
I don't like when they were saying the owners. I love Papa Dragon. Papa Dragon said everything else, but the owner just owns the team. The quarterback throws the passes. The wide receiver catches the passes. The running back runs the ball. But they don't have no say-so.
Unless they're Aaron Rodgers. That's true. Yeah.
Aaron Rodgers, put his years in. That's why I said you get your contract after the years you put in, after the yards, not before them.
I agree.
All the rookies come in here now. They don't know what's going to happen or who Cam Ward's going to be or Shedeur Sanders. So the next contract is the ones that's going to blow up. Brock Purdy. Everybody said Brock Purdy is not going to be a hard. I don't think they said Bosa was going to be a hard case. But things happen.
Bosa, Bosa's agent's a real pain in the ass. We were lucky that Bosa signed his rookie contract because that guy's famous for finding little things in the contract he doesn't like and making that argument for like a month. But yeah, we got away on that. So yeah, he came around on the second.
And we keeping him.
Yeah.
We never said trade Bosa. I never heard somebody say trade Bosa yet.
No,
his contract don't even let it happen like that.
Yeah,
here and there. Yeah, you're right.
Here and there, but not often.
But
99% of people don't want to trade Bosa, but there are here and there some arguments being made.
Brandon Aiyuk, Debo, all of them get traded the first day they drop a pass. But Bosa, like you said, he got stiffed arm for 15 yards.
I mean, you could get that footage anytime you wanted. That was ugly, wasn't it? His arms were too long. The guy that was defending him, his arms were too long, and that's why the Michigan guy is crying now about people saying his arms are too. What's that big bad offensive lineman from Michigan? They're telling him his arms are too short.
Yeah, Johnson Campbell.
Yeah,
hope we pick him too. If
he's so
Amendu
mad.
is not doing it.
Yeah.
Yeah, if Mendu is not there, then it's him. But I want the linebacker and I want DT, but DT go backwards. Like you gotta go down, and it ain't Grant. It's Nolan first, then Grant.
Yeah.
But like only thing I'm saying, I don't want to. I hope we do better, but the onus does not catch, throw, or run the ball. We got to really put the onus on these players where they're getting the compensation because they're the one getting their legs broke, their hands, their shoulders torn off.
Yeah.
And $15 for a hot dog? Come on, bro.
Oh, see, that's why even the Dodger dog, which is my favorite in the planet, I would not pay. Eat before you go to a ball game. I advise everybody.
Yeah, you got to. You got to eat and drink.
Oh my God! And as soon as you see the prices, you go say, "Wow!" It's first you get to wow, because I could buy a whole dinner
like
for
$12 for a bottle. Is that a case of water?
Woo! So, but they got to do the concessions. Got to do that because in a stadium, there's a lot of cost. So they try to make up through it. They got to give a percentage back to the ownership and everything. It's crazy. It's bad.
True, but I used to work with a girl. You get the concessions what work with the ownership. Sometimes it goes hand in hand. You can't go outside and then think they're gonna charge you less. You got to go inside. Yeah. So, like I said, all this stuff got to be worked for the fans who pay the ticket prices,
which are already out of control. So
So we going backwards. Oxymoron.
It's gonna get worse too. We got to pull up though because we're trying to keep everybody within a certain amount of time. But listen, I'll be back Sunday and let's do this some more.
I try to talk to you. I'm sorry about the thing, but I had to get into it a little more.
It was appreciated. I just I want more. Let me see Sunday. All right.
Yep, love ya, Ronbo. Niners all day. Let's get this job done. Burgundy and gold for life. Just cut me off anytime. You hear me? Let's go.
Because you got plenty of praises up. Good night, Brian.
Yeah.
I mean, where'd I go? Harold McAllister says, called in but had to hang up. We need to draft a serviceable DE, LG, DTs. Harold, you could have just said we need to draft every position. And we do need to add depth. And we need people who can come in and push other people or take their job. This is the nature of the business. If you're good, you keep that job. If somebody's better, sorry, babe, that's the way it goes. This is football. Either kick ass or move your ass. Trey from PA. What? No, it cannot be. I haven't talked to him ever. Trey. Wait a minute. I did this the other day, didn't I?
Ronbo.
This is that other Trey, that one that's lighter complexion.
Ronbo.
Trey, you just never got me started on that. Come on in, Trey. Trey.
Hey, Ronbo, can you hear me?
I can hear you clearly.
Hell yeah! What's up, Ronbo?
Trey, as you know, I've been carrying the torch tonight for a tired 49ers team as Brock Purdy wouldn't let the cat out of the bag by letting everybody know last season was tired because it actually was tired. And I think all Brock's teammates probably said, "Yo, Brock, let me holler at you, man. Why you want to say this, dude? We can't get no break now. Everywhere I go, you tired now? Okay, see." Brock did open up a can of worms. But you know what, Trey, I feel him on that. I tell you, I worried about that at the beginning of last season. I said, man, the 49ers got to be tired. Y'all know about a Super Bowl this year. I was just kidding partially. But at the same time, I felt like, damn, they've been doing a lot of work for the last few years and short breaks. And also, Trey, number 11 pick, we all think we need a defensive lineman, an offensive lineman. But Trey, what if a bad boy at another position is available at number 11? If he ain't a quarterback, do you go ahead and say, oh, I tell you what, abandon plan A, get this dude? Where you at on that?
All right, Ronbo, here's the thing. All right, like I said, it's White Trey from PA, baby, coming in, hot takes, always. Dishing them up. Here's the thing, Ronbo. I had to call in a little earlier this time around. I'm on the East Coast. Last time I called in, I was a little too soft up. I'm going to be honest. It was like 2 a.m. my time. So, I always got time to talk ball, Ronbo. But, I had to call in a little earlier. Here's the thing, Ronbo. I got to be honest. It's getting to that point in the mock draft season where I'm over it all. I'm over it all. Because
Okay.
there's so many possibilities. There's so many mock drafts. There's all these picks, right? Like it's
Confusing,
it's just,
pretty
I
much.
feel
Yeah.
like you have to. I mean, that's the thing. Like we all know the needs, right? But you see all these, conflicting reports, all these different mock drafts. Here's where I'm at, Ronbo. I think you have to wait until like the days, even maybe the hours leading up to the draft to really gauge, right? Like what's going to happen, right? Because, I mean, come on. And here's the thing I will say too, Ronbo. I just, like I said, I got to come in hot, you know me. And I'm going to need a minute here. I'm going to need a minute. I'll be respectful of people's time, but I got some notes. I'm going to need a minute here. I got to be honest, Ronbo. It's one of the first and only times I've ever disagreed with you. It's from something I heard, earlier.
No, that's okay.
Is that that the Niners don't succeed when they draft by addressing needs.
Okay.
Right? And here's where I'm at with that, Ronbo.
All right.
I mean, they drafted and obviously leveraged the future for a quarterback in Trey Lance literally right after a Super Bowl appearance in the midst of a quote-unquote championship window, right? They drafted a quarterback. They sold their future for a quarterback. That wasn't a need. They didn't need him. You know what I mean? They were just in a Super Bowl.
Mm-hmm.
And then also too, like last year, and I've been really outspoken against this on your channel here. But Pearsall, I mean, let's be honest. Again, quote unquote, like kind of in a window there. They had Debo, Aiyuk, Jennings. They didn't need a receiver. You know what I mean? So, like, when are they going to get over the McGlinchey PTSD and take, right? I mean, like, when are they going to get over that and actually address the O-line and actually invest in it, invest a high-round pick in it, right? Like,
Yeah.
I don't know. That's kind of where I'm at.
I have no problem with that at all. I mean, every year we act like we can't do that in the first round. So, yeah. And yeah, PTSD is behind Mike McGlinchey. I never thought about that because, Trent Baalke went through the same thing. Trent never even considered for a moment drafting a wide receiver in the first round after God. Jenkins, I mean, but anyway, you're right. It could bite certain GMs so hard to get afraid to do it again. But go ahead, because we're gonna run out of time.
You know what, Ronbo? Like, are we already on the final? Oh man, I got a lot to say here, Ronbo.
Trey, yeah. But you got another minute and a half or so. Go ahead, run it down. That last point.
All right. Well, here's the thing, Ronbo. Here's the thing. People were talking about like they can't go wrong in this draft, and again, I kind of wait on that with bated breath because it's like, at the end of the day, right? Like there's some deep positions where they have needs, but like, come on, like I can see them taking like a Luther Burden, like I wouldn't be completely shocked if they, you know what I mean? Like with Kyle and John, like it's like, you know what I mean? So stuff like that's kind of even on the table where you're like, that shouldn't even be a possibility, but like I wouldn't, or like one of the running backs, you know what I mean? Like I can see them doing something like that, but again, like I don't know, Ronbo. Here's the thing. I think we say this every year, but I think this is a weird draft where other than like running back with John T, you got like edge with Carter, maybe deep tackle with Graham. There's kind of a lot of uncertainty who the top guy is at some of these positions, right?
God,
like most of them.
Yeah. And you only
so,
watch them from
again,
college
I know,
highlights, so yeah.
Yeah, and I know Barron, I know, Will Johnson are hot picks, in terms of secondary. But again, like, I think cornerback, I think there's that Hairston, he's a speed demon. He's going to probably go first round. But I think there's also that Ben Morrison from Notre Dame and Revel.
Oh, Trey, you've been doing your homework. I can tell right now. We do got to stop them, man. Trey, Sunday. Let's do this some more. Trying to get you in as early as possible too. I got to work in the East Coast a little better. All right.
Yeah, no, Ronbo, I get it. Yeah, like I said, I'll take a pause on my notes. I got a lot of stuff to talk
Hey,
about.
don't throw them away. Yeah, no,
You
we want
know,
to hear.
God bless the Niners, man. They keep things interesting. They give us a lot to talk about. So I love you, man. I love the platform. And
Thanks,
hey, man,
man.
if you don't mind, can I get a little Niners hall?
It's kind of I got to take the repair shop. Wait, hold a second. Niners! Hey, Trey, I think I got it warmed up. It's okay now. Trey, that's for you, man. Let's see you
I love
Sunday.
that, man. I love you, Rombo, man. Yeah,
Thanks,
like
man.
I said, man, I'll see you Sunday.
Looking
Love the
forward to it,
platform.
Trey.
Go Niners.
All right, fam.
Take
Night.
care, man.
You too. Tony. Got to run, but some secondary should always be one of the priorities. Niners need to replace Hufanga and Mooney's roster spots, draft their replacements. And Tony, Tony, thanks for that contribution. I'm pretty sure they're going to. It's always said, what priority? You know one thing we have to take away from what's been going on down through the years? The best player is not always in the first round anyway. And we've proven that year after year after year after year. We got Pro Bowlers, and I think most of them, not named Nick Bosa, are not first rounders. So, there's that. Hey, yo, Eric.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Eric.
Yeah.
Eric, how you doing tonight?
Good.
Good, Eric. You're the real Eric, right? Eric, there's a lot of people taking. See, this is what Rams do. This is what low-life people they are. They take popular people in the chat and steal their name and come in and talk out of character. I don't know why they don't think we're going to not notice. So, Rams, really, grow the hell up. My God, what's wrong with you people? Eric, come on, man. Let's find out. You're reporting from Hawkville. We want to know what's going on with you guys. You already know what's going on with us because we're talking about it now. Speaking of which, Eric, your first round pick is going to be who? At what position?
Well, I don't know. It's going to be interesting. I don't think it's going to be quarterback in the first round. Might be like line help.
So, Eric, I told you it's not necessary to pick a quarterback in the first round. Eric, how many? Let's think about this for a minute. How many quarterbacks? You can almost name them right off the top of your head who have succeeded in the NFL. For a bad example, you take the Trevor Lawrence year. Trevor Lawrence came out to be the only quarterback to sign a second contract, right? That was 2022, 21. Worst year, had to be the worst year in football history for quarterbacks. Then you look at guys like Baker Mayfield finally took a little while. Jared Goff, they've taken a little while. Those are first round. Both of them were number one in the draft. But they came in getting their brains beat out. Baker was pretty arrogant. Jared got beat up pretty badly in his first few years. And then Sean McVay came in, and, of course, he had a little better time. But first round quarterbacks, if you go down through the list in history, I wonder, do they dominate? You look at Patrick Mahomes is going to go down, Lamar Jackson. They were down at the bottom of the first round. They had to trade up to get Patrick, and Lamar barely made it in the first round, right? Did Josh Allen get picked up in the first round? So it's amazing how that works.
Yeah.
What you going to say?
It's going to be good depending on who. I really feel like the Niners are going to make a good pick.
Yeah. Well, we're going to be picking defense. I'm a little snake bit, though, when it comes to defensive linemen. Ever since Nick Bosa, we've laid eggs. No. Before Nick Bosa, we did, and then we got Bosa. Solomon Thomas was the first pick that John Lynch picked due to the fact that he had a personal relationship with him. They attended classes together at Stanford. John, we don't pick classmates. But anyway, he learned that, and the next time they went to the well, they picked up a decent pick. Did we pick up Nick Bosa as early as the second or third year after Solomon Thomas? No, we picked up Michael Glenchie first. That was the second year. The third year came Nick, because we were getting our brains beat out so bad that we finally picked up a high pick. Yeah, 2018, yeah, we got killed. And then 2019 to the Super Bowl, yeah. So, you got to be careful with those draft picks. It's such a science, Eric. You sit there, you've got a computer program that's going to help you make these decisions. You have to make a few on your own gut instinct. Which one are you going to trust more, though, Eric? The computer's going to crunch numbers and tendencies and things like that to give you something to go on. But doing Billy Ball, oh, I tell you what, I really wonder how many success stories come behind that kind of method. I want a guy in the front office that knows what a good ball player looks like. I need to know more about him. I need to talk to him. I need to know what's going on in his head, because that's going to determine a lot of what that player puts out on the field as well. I look at DK Metcalf, for example, guy you got. DK Metcalf is an awesome specimen. He is an unbelievable. If you were putting on a board a prototype of what would be the perfect wide receiver, it would look like DK Metcalf. But the bad thing is, if you talk to him, there could be some issues later on. There was. It's scary. How do you pick a first-round pick? Whoa. So, we're going to see soon. Eric? Didn't mean to put you to sleep. Your thoughts?
What, bud?
I'm thinking, what are you thinking? What do you want to add?
It's going to be a good... I really feel like Dan Flynn's going to make the right decision, whoever that is.
Yeah. Well, we certainly hope so. Got to wait and see, though. Yeah. It takes about a season or so. But yeah. All right, Eric. Eric, I always appreciate your company. You're back in that chat. They love you. I'll tell you what, I'll see you Sunday.
Yeah, we will.
All right. Night, Eric. Jaime. Haven't talked to Jaime Alazak in a long time. Trading Mason was unnecessary. Amen. What are we doing here? He doesn't cost any money. He's a good running back. Now you got to go find one that may not be as good as Mason. You're on a treadmill. No. You're going backwards, right? Who's going to back to CMC? Garindo's there. Garindo didn't get enough carries or to look reminds you anything of Mace. They picked up the big kid that we seen run last week for us, Patrick. What was Patrick? Anyway, we've got all kind of running backs. You figure the 49ers are going to pick up a UDFA. They're going to draft one at some point. I just hope they don't do it in the third round. That's a bad luck round. We'll go into OTAs. My estimation, they'll have about 6 running backs. Have 2, maybe, at the end of the season. Tommy! Shane McWoman is my punching bag. Well, I know that's the real Tommy Huxley. Tommy's always got quick jabs at those folks. Tommy, thank you.
Speak to the devil.
There's Tommy now. Tommy, Rams fans represent...
These freaking clowns.
I know, but they represent a new low in humanity. You know what I mean? Why? They don't have anything else to do besides walk around impersonating people in 49er chats. Tommy, could you stoop to that level? I can't imagine wasting my time going to a Rams chat and pretending to be somebody in there and saying all kind of stupid things, knowing they're going to find me out in a minute or two. Where's the strategy in that?
Well, I know Steve-O made a fake Great One account.
If you're good at it, okay, go with the Rams. But, I mean, my God, have some character. Tommy, I mean, you're the guy I want to ask about that, too, because you're a guy who nobody's going to sway Tommy on what he thinks. Brock Purdy came in and tell people how he felt about being tired, and he claimed his team was tired. Are you acceptable in that? And also, that 11th pick. Now, all kind of scenarios are out there. They're all enticing. They're like going to a restaurant that's got a great menu. and you look at about 4 different entrees, and you say to yourself, "Oh man, I know this is good." And you look at the guy, and what do you recommend? They're all good. He works there. And so now, all right, well, tell you what, I'm going to take this. What kind of wine are you going to recommend? He's going to pick out the most expensive bottle in the house. You can't ask everybody these kind of questions. But Tommy, what do you think?
Well, about the 11th pick, depends who falls. I mean, because John Chapman did like a mock draft today. It was like the first mock draft I liked because these mock drafts are getting so redundant and boring.
Yeah.
It's like, I can't take it anymore. I just so sick of it.
Yeah. I mean, that's what's happening.
So
You're going to get a lot of the same one, yeah.
Like if Mason Graham's dropped to 7, I think you want to trade up and see if they would take a third, one of the third rounders.
Yeah, Mason. You got Tommy. That's the thing you got to watch real carefully as the draft is progressing. There's a lot of moves that are going to be made that you're going to either jump or you're going to hold. It's like playing poker. It's so frightening because if you make the wrong move at the wrong time, boom, you take it right. Oh my God!
Because if Membu or Banks falls, I think you might want to grab them too.
When do you make your
Membu
move?
Over Banks.
Three or 4 out earlier, or hold on to the last couple of minutes. That's the beatsy.
I don't know if you would trade up for those 2 tackles, but if they would fall to 11, yeah. But I don't think it's going to happen.
Who'd you say you try to draft up to 7? You're going to lose a lot going up that many spots. But who did you mention?
Oh, you know what? Maybe 8. If he drops to 8, if he's at 7, and they already took the pick, then then you make the call. So I know that. I know the team was tired, but how is Brock Purdy tired?
I
don't know. Maybe he's tired of throwing to John Jennings, praying that he's going to
win.
Make a contested catch. So
I don't know. Brock's the kind of guy that's going to he's going to speak up for his team if he's feeling something. I imagine there were some guys around there tail dragging at times, and Brock had to cheer him up and say, "Listen, we're all in this together, man. We're going to get through this, all right? Let's go."
I mean, you saw how crappy this defense was.
Oh.
It's like we suck. I just got to go out there and my offensive line cannot run block for shit. So Kyle's drawn up these stupid plays. Like, let's go shotgun and
run
7-step drop like freaking the Rams did back in the '99. And let's pray someone gets open. Nobody's open but Kittle.
And that's all the time. Unfortunately, because the other guys cleared out all the defenders to the point, all George's got to do is find a crease, but he's good at that. And make no mistake, that's not an easy thing to do, but George knows how to do that really well.
And if they're doubling Kittle, you got nobody.
I know, see?
Because that's what they're going to do. They're going to double.
The thing.
I mean, if he's not trying to run block since...
they make him do that all the time. Since our offensive line needs
Brendel's
his help.
The worst. He's not good at anything. He's good at getting to the second level, but then from there on, he's just like, what do I do next?
See, that's why I like Pooney so much, Tommy, because Pooney made
McKivitz'
McKivit's life a
awesome.
lot better. But he's always looking for work. If Pooney's got his man handled and he sees McKivitz is having some struggles, he gets on over there to help out, get it done. I mean, that's why we didn't talk about McKivitz a lot all year. It was Pooney.
I think they're changing their philosophy in the O-line, how to block. Like, we're going to get people who are good at pass blocking, and then we could teach them our style of run blocking.
Yeah. Because I don't know what Chris Forrester does. And that's why we're never going to get an offensive lineman in the first round, Tommy. Chris has already told Kyle, no, don't worry about your offensive. I can make an offensive lineman out of anybody.
I forgot about that.
And go ahead and get yourself a playmaker. Oh, Chris, you need to stop.
Yeah, because my Invader 49er, he doesn't come here, but he's just like, they just don't. They went for what's that guy's name? McGlinchey and
what's his name? He is forgettable at times. Yeah.
Oh no,
Vita Vea was in that draft.
I think he was saying Wirfs was right there. We could have had him.
No, Wirfs wasn't the same year. He was a year afterwards, so you could have had them both. Actually,
no, I mean, I wasn't talking about. I meant Wirfs. They said
Yeah, we missed out
You know,
on that.
Forrester saw worse in the chat. I mean, he saw worse in the draft, and he said nope, because they don't really go for first round, you know,
Offensive
tackles
lineman.
or guards or anything.
You know what? That might be.
So that's kind of
might be a
telling me that
policy.
they're not going to go.
You're right.
Yeah, but I'm just not liking the D tackles in the second round unless people fall like Nolan, Grant. Jalen Walker is not really a DT. What is he?
What's that guy
he's
that's
more
hurt?
of a.
What did you?
Oh,
is Nolan that guy that's hurt?
Carter?
He's a guy, right?
No, Carter.
Somebody's got an injury, and people are starting to.
Abdul Carter is the guy.
Abdul
who took
Carter,
number one.
right? The 49ers.
Yeah.
Do you take Abdul Carter? Not if he's around in the second round. Do you go for it?
There's no way he drops in the second round. I know he's got a foot injury.
I can't
but
imagine
I think
that
he's
either.
going to go. I think he's going to still go. He might drop to 11. I say. I don't know. That's just a guy.
Tommy, man,
But he's amazing.
Yes, I see his highlights when he was feeling good. I did watch him.
But Jalen Walker, I would. If they pick him at 11, I'm not going to be mad because there's your Greenlaw replacement, and he can also play edge. So that's almost two birds with one stone.
God.
Just playing where the hell you need him.
You know, you need that kind of diversity too on this team. Tommy, we got to go.
And he's from Georgia.
That's all you had to tell me. If I'm in the front room, they got to restrain me. Guys, I'm voting for him right now. We talked about him last week. I remember that. Yeah, that's the kid.
Yeah, I just want to draft him so the fucking Eagles don't get him.
Because
they don't need any more badass freaking Georgia players.
God.
Sheesh.
Tommy,
I was totally wrong about Jalen Carter. I thought he was going to be a bust because of his character, but that guy's oh my God.
I know. Tommy,
amazing.
Let me go, and I'll see you Sunday, and let's continue. And continue to work them Rams that are pretending to be other people. God, they suck. All right.
Woman, what does your name even mean? And Kim Everett, you know, you and me are cool, but I still like to cook you like freaking breakfast sausage, my boy.
Night, Tommy. Go get him. Give him hell.
Have a good weekend.
You too. Night, Tommy.
Later.
Later. Hey, yo, Tony. Tony.
Ronbo.
Tony. Come on in, man. Tony, boy, you're one of the kind of people that I thought about when Brock was talking about how tired they were. I just said, because, you know, I put it on social media, and one guy that works in the trades gets on there, put him out on a construction site for a damn year.
Carl Shanahan's going to go up to him and say,
don't you
Brock,
ever.
You just went on a podcast and said to everybody that you can't even see who you're throwing to 40% of the time. I'm going to get the shit blitzed out of me next season, and I have to change my playbook because you went and opened your big fat goddamn mouth.
You know, Tommy, would you tell your players, you don't know what they're going to say, but there should be a memo I sent out an email with about 25 things I don't want to hear come out of your mouth in any kind of public interviews, press, anything. Just don't say these particular things. You don't touch it. I imagine they have something to that effect. But common sense has to play a factor every now and then too, though. But most players don't have. A lot of players don't have common sense. I don't know. How would you go about doing that? But I can see what you're thinking about that now, though. God.
You know, Ronbo, the draft, first round, you know, the 49ers don't like dicking around with first round contracts.
Yeah.
So don't be surprised if someone gives them two twos and you'll be picking 2 picks in the second round.
God, Tony, you got to pay. We don't have any money.
Yeah.
I forgot about that. Tony's right, fam. The 49ers are not going to get a high-profile first-round pick. They got to pay him extra money for being a first-round pick.
Yeah, the theme is save money. And this easy schedule thing makes me laugh my head off.
Yeah, I don't take it seriously.
because you gotta play in your division. How many games is that? 6.
And everybody knows you. Exactly. Those are all hard.
So how many?
games.
How many of the 6 are you gonna win?
Yeah.
And even if it is an easy schedule, Ronbo, the easy schedule is going to be predicated on what sort of product you're going to put out on the field.
Mm-hmm.
And if you're going to put a mediocre team out on the field, that easy schedule is automatically going to become extremely hard.
Yep.
So we don't know what the hell's going to happen, who they're going to pick, what they're going to pick. I mean, for all we know, after the meeting with the ownership and everything else about taking power away from Kyle Shanahan could have stormed out of that office like a little kid. Oh, you want to take power away from me? Well, guess what? You want me to coach? All right, I'll coach. But when the draft comes along, I'm not picking not one goddamn player. Whatever you guys pick, and I'll coach that. How about that? See you later.
Don't ask Kyle pitching a fit, a hissy little 16-year-old fit, and running out of the room. now, what Jed's got to do, or somebody's got to do, is do what a dad would do. Hey, I'm not through talking to you. Bring your ass back here. Tony, I hope he didn't do that. I mean, Kyle's got to be a man about this.
It's not beyond him, but
well,
in my eyes,
but,
anyway.
Because we need to make some changes. Because what we've been doing, it needs some altering to see if we can make that better. He's got to understand that.
And now that everybody knows that Brock is throwing blind 40% of the time, you have to strengthen that O-line.
Yeah,
you have to.
I mean, it's no.
You've got no choice.
You got to take Chris Forsyth. You got to take the drugs away from Chris.
Look, Ronbo, on another side of the ball, we always want our D-line by the end of the year is gassed all the time at the end of the season. All right? You want a decent O-line so that your D-line stays fresh, and when they come on, they can just make a stop or get the ball back and then just trot off the field again.
Yeah.
And you go and put
fresh
some more
all
points
day.
on.
Yeah.
They stay fresh all night and all the way through the season. Then you've got a tear-ass football team.
And then like, who was that? Who said earlier? And then run the ball. Run the ball. Leave those SOBs on the bench for the other team and just let them rot. Kick out 6-7 minutes per drive. That's the way you keep your defense fresh.
There's another thing. We had running backs, right? But we sort of like went away from the run, didn't put Mason in early on in the season. Don't test these kids out. Run Christian McCaffrey into the ground, and then you're back to square one. I mean, rotate the goddamn players that are taking the biggest hits.
I wish somebody would talk to.
And a lot of other people say, the draft's going to be one thing, but I think UDFAs is going to be another. Remember Washington, Ronbo? All right, what they did with
how many guys did they have? Oh, so many. 20. Double digit. Yeah, oh, yeah. Whoa. I didn't know it was to that degree. Those are your hungriest players, Tony.
Yeah, well, because they want another crack at life, Ronbo. Yes. Not only do they want another crack at life, they want to change their lives, and they're going to play out of their skin to get a contract.
And they felt like
look at Mostert. We got rid of Mostert. He went over to the Dolphins and scored 21 TDs.
He's a very strange thing. A lot of teams made a mistake on Mostert. When we got him, he'd already been around the league. Very bizarre.
Well, yeah, but you've got, what's his name? The old boy coaching him. That makes a difference too.
Oh, Bobby Turner. Yeah.
Bobby Turner, right? That makes a difference too. If a coach doesn't know how to coach a player, well, the player's only going to be as good as the coach coaches him up to. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
so
potential.
There's a lot of factors in. Yeah, there's a lot of factors. Combinations like when you had Buckner and what's his name, Eric Armstead on the field. Bosa would eat, get sack after sack after sack.
Rookie, because he was tearing up. Yeah.
Every time they'd go into a certain direction, Buckner or Armstead would take out the dude that was going to double team Bosa, and then they just set him free.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Right.
So you can't say, oh, Bosa's had this many sacks. He hasn't got the dudes that he needs next to him to combinations are important.
Oh, absolutely.
Whether it's safety positions, every single position group, linebackers, doesn't matter. The combinations are really, really important so that the players know. They don't have to think about what the dude next to him's doing.
Yeah, because they already know.
Right?
They know each other. Yeah.
They know each other. They're in sync. That's a big part of the game as well.
Tony,
so, we'll see. We'll see what they do.
You've always got great stuff that we need to go another half an hour on. We got to go, though, Tony. I'm going to see you Friday if you got time. And I know you do, Tony, because if you don't, we're going to come and find you.
All right, brother. All right. Shout out to Evan Lewis, Big Show, Papa Dragon, Smooth, Frank, Emilio, and is it the resident bastard's birthday?
It is, Tony. He'll love it from you.
Oh.
You tell him happy birthday.
Well, shout out to happy birthday to 49 up Ron.
There you go, Brian. Tony, always appreciate you. Cheers, my dude.
Cheers, brother. Cheers.
Hey, yo, JT.
Hey, what's up, Ronbo?
JT, man, I'm still taking up for my boys. They were tired last year. They went 6-11. It wasn't their fault, as they have been proving to everybody that they are the shiznit when they're well rested. So last year's debacle should not define the San Francisco 49ers, as they will be back this year to prove that to be the case. So help me, Brock.
Oh, they will. Oh, they will. I'm starting to feel pretty confident.
Oh, yeah.
I guess it's just kind of wishful thinking. I guess, every year.
I'm like that, too.
I'd be having all these hopes and dreams of them picking up specific players. And a lot of times I get let down. But, hopefully this year, Ronbo, hopefully this year we've got a good opportunity to pick up some really good players.
Young, hungry players.
Draft. And,
yeah. That makes a difference, JT. And you got to get kids in there that got to prove themselves. They could be out of control and crazy, hard to deal with for the opposing team. Yeah, not scared.
Yeah, and if you're gonna pick, I want a freaking game changer. I want someone that's gonna that's gonna make an impact on day one.
We all do.
And I would love to go trenches. And I was just thinking about it, and I was listening to other people and what they were thinking. But I'm gonna go back to what I said we're gonna go. I want to go trenches, but I want to go guard. I really want that Tyler Booker. I really want Tyler Booker on the squad next to Trent Williams.
Oh,
I really want Tyler Booker.
Left side, yeah. Oh, that's okay.
Yeah, because I don't know. I just feel like I don't know. Like I kind of feel like maybe Walter Nolan. He may mess around and fall to the second round. If he does, we can have a Tyler Booker and we can have a Walter Nolan.
Yeah. JT, the problem is we don't have a lot. There's not a lot of. I think the quarterbacks. I think the first two picks are going to be it for them, and then you're going to see them late in the first round. And there may be some second round picks this year. That kid from Ole Miss. They say he's top 10. That could be a third pick.
Who are you talking about?
I'm talking about quarterbacks. Quarterbacks. We need to take up about 5 spots with QBs. So when they get to 11, we could pretty much get anything we want.
Ronbo, let me walk this back. Let me walk it back. I don't even want to pick at 11. I want to trade back. I need to get a few extra picks. I want to walk out the draft with at least 14 to 15 picks.
The 49ers track record for getting late round picks. It ain't a bad idea.
Let me tell you why. There's a lot of holes. I've been doing mock drafts every day, and I'm gonna tell you.
You need to.
We need. I'm gonna put it like this. Overall, in the trenches, we need at least 7 to 8 guys in the trenches.
I agree. You need to call up about 7
to 8. I'm talking about 7 to 8 guys.
Trucks to fill these holes. I agree.
You need two edge rushers. You need at least 3 solid defensive linemen, D tackles.
You mentioned don't forget DTs. You need at least 2.
No. That's I just said that. I just said 3 of them, not
okay,
2, 3.
Defensive edge rushers. Yeah, I need 2 at least.
Edge rushers, you got 2. You need 2
at least, because one's going to start, the other one's going to back him up, and then they can fight for the job next year. Who's going to win?
And then you need a guard. Then you need a tackle. Okay, and I'm not even talking firepower yet. Okay, then you need a corner, you need a safety, you need a tight end, you need a receiver, you need a center. I didn't even mention center. See, you got all these
you should have mentioned it first. Brindle's
getting
on everybody's
nerves.
At
11. I want to move back. You need at least 14 or 15 picks, Ronbo.
I know. You're not getting them all this year. There's going to be some undrafted free agents. You know how we always fill up the practice squad with a couple of goodies. Tommy Huxley, yeah. Gross Matos is probably going to start, yeah. But, yeah.
Oh, I don't really like Gross Matos. To tell you the honest to God truth, if you could get a rookie, a solid rookie, he can be replaced.
Yeah. Gross Matos is not going to stay on the field anyway. So whether we draft a good rookie or not, that rookie's going to play. So he better be good.
Here, picture this, Ronbo. Picture this. I mock draft Walter Nolan, TJ Sanders, and Aeneas Peebles. What do you think about that?
Sounds good to me. Because these are the guys who are making headlines that everybody even doesn't watch college football knows about. Nolan's name gets called every day.
I didn't even mention linebacker. You got to have a linebacker too.
That's going to Georgia?
Greenlaw's position. That's crucial.
Get that one Tommy's talking about, everybody's talking about? Because Howie Roseman's already told everybody up front, you guys keep your damn hands off the Georgia ball players at kid Jalen's mind. First thing I do is go get him. Well, I was like, whoa.
Who are we talking about? A quarterback?
No, he's a linebacker. JT. The 49ers are going after that kid. We just lost Trey Green.
Which linebacker are you talking about?
From Georgia. The dude's a badass.
Jalen Walker.
Yes.
Jalen Walker. Okay.
It's Walker. If Walker doesn't get taken by 11, he's a 49er. I'd bet on it.
You know what? You're right, because you know what? I mock draft him too. I picked him at, I think I moved back a little bit to pick him up to gain an extra pick, but I picked Jalen Walker. And when I picked Jalen Walker, that kind of it took away the need for the linebacker. I wasn't there, and I still picked up another edge rusher. Yeah, Jalen Walker. Yeah, that would be a great pickup. Him next to Fred Warner.
Yes, he does more than play linebacker. He's like that dude that got drafted by the Chargers years ago. What's his name? The dude is all over the field. He plays linebacker. He's great at coverage. You can have him edge rush. Raymond was so high on him that year. Anyway, I think he's cut from that cloth. But fam, we got to go though.
No, it's all good. I can't even think of who you're talking. I don't even follow the Chargers like that. I just give a shit about my team.
Yeah, he's had some problems last couple of years. He's getting up there now. But anyway, JT, we got to go. Let's get together. Sunday, family, we're looking for you, okay?
Hey, but I'm going to just say this before I go. Whatever they got to do, bring me Tyler Booker.
There you go. That ain't asking too much. All right, fam. Appreciate you, JT.
All right, Ronbo.
See you Sunday. Who is that dude? All right, fam.
Yeah.
Anthony.
What's going on, Ronbo?
Andy, what's that badass linebacker's name that's been getting hurt recently, but when he's on the field, everybody knows that the Chargers, he can rush, he can play linebacker, in coverage, don't think you can pass on him. Who was that dude? Who is he?
Someone from the Chargers?
For the Chargers, yes. Probably the best defender they got. Anyway, anybody in chat, who am I talking about? Trivia question for the night. Who is that dude the Chargers picked up years ago that everybody was complaining of 49ers?
I know you're talking about. Let me see, what is it? I know exactly who you're talking about.
Yeah, okay.
I will hoping we had picked that.
No, not him. Before Khalil Mack. No, not Khalil Mack.
No.
Guys, he's been there for years.
I know who you're talking about.
Anyway.
Derwin James.
Derwin James, that's him. Derwin James, that's him.
That's what this dude sounds like with Georgia. Man.
I've been told you about that. Ronbo, you remember I told you about the linebacker from Georgia, Jalen Walker.
Yep.
You remember I had been told you about Jalen Walker?
You were one of the first people who told me about him, exactly.
Yeah, he's nasty, bro.
How tall is he?
No. What's called Mike Faldos, Rambo? He's a good defensive edge. The edge rush out of Marshall. Mike Green.
Not even heard his name. I heard a lot of names a lot. You hear a lot of guys' names repeated over and
Mike
over.
Green, yeah.
Mike Green, I've not heard about. I've heard about Carver. He's the guy with the bad foot that everybody wants, but you worry about the foot. Mike Green.
Either him or Kyle Kennard. I would like one of them. Them boys are nasty, Rambo.
Yeah, we do need somebody nasty.
Hey, Rambo.
Oh, yeah, that's right. Bebop, sorry. He's a safety. See, Bebop, that's the thing about Derwin James. Derwin James, his business card said safety, right? But Derwin James.
Yeah, but he couldn't pay him down in the box. Derwin James he's nasty.
I mean, what's his name? Adams was supposed to be. Adams wasn't better than Derwin James. He's another safety that played all over the field, but he couldn't go back in coverage. James could. Can.
He couldn't go back in coverage. Derwin James do it all, though.
So, well.
Rambo, it was, my homeboy here come on my IG page, I'm like, yeah. Y'all lost all these players. I said, man, look at him, man. Don't worry about what we got going on. I said, especially when you're a Cowboy fan, man, come on, bro.
I don't understand Cowboys fans. When it comes to talking football, they should run hide. Don't even talk. If I'm a Cowboy fan, you know what's so bad about Dallas, though? You can't even talk about the Dallas Mavericks anymore. I go ahead and lie and claim I'm a Texan fan.
You know what I told him, Rambo? I said, look at him. I said, you worry about the 49ers, right? I said, you talking about we got a bunch of rookies out there, right?
Yeah.
I said, 2 years back to back, you run out of rookie DBs to pick y'all off and end y'all, what you call y'all playoff run? What?
I mean,
yeah.
all you had to do was mention Green Bay. He'd have walked away. Green Bay went in there and dog walked him for 40-something points in a playoff game.
With all their wide receivers rookies. I said, man, look, man. You can't tell me nothing about my team. I said, man, we pick for the future. I tell you what.
Yeah.
I said, I promise you this.
Yeah.
We'll be in the playoffs this year. Where y'all gonna be at?
At home watching us play. Because you know what?
That's what I
Jerry Jones, he's getting to that senile point in his life that he's doing really strange things. And Mika sounds like
Rambo.
They cannot pay me if they want to. Yeah.
Yeah. Rambo, I'm not worried about our offense, man, because our offense,
I'm not.
You lost
not really.
Debo. Yeah. But, that ain't nothing, Rambo. That boy we got from the Giants, they did not want to lose that boy. That boy is good, Rambo.
Wait, who did we get from the Giants? I remember we were talking about him a lot.
Isaiah Hodgins. They didn't want to lose that boy, Rambo.
Yeah.
Kind of season over good. We picked him up. What is 6'4", 240 pounds?
Yeah. 6'4",
Run a 4. He's a big wide receiver, man.
Oh, he's a receiver.
He look like he mixed or something.
I thought you were talking about a linebacker. 6'4", what?
No, this
240.
He's 6'4", 2. Let me see. No, 6'4", 221. Yeah.
okay.
Ronbo, he run the big as he is. Ronbo, he run like a 4.61 in the 40.
It's natural for him to be that size and be able to move like that. Yeah, his weight. He
got
probably
good
go up a few
hands,
pounds
Ronbo.
too. I like it.
Yeah, Ronbo, he got good hands, Ronbo. You throw that ball anywhere near, he gonna get it, Ronbo.
You say he's a receiver.
He's a wide receiver.
Oh, okay, he's not a tight end.
He's a wide receiver.
The Giants are good for picking up those kind of. No, what's his name was a tight end, the one that went to.
I remember when they first got him. Guess who they say he's gonna be the next Victor Cruz? Remember, he's good at finding the soft spots getting open.
He can move like that.
They say, yeah, Remo, man, you put his name on it, man. Remo, he gets open, Remo.
But
he was a killer in the red zone, Remo.
Shane, I mean, Anthony. But when he gets a touchdown, can he salsa like Victor Cruz? Victor, man, used to make me laugh so hard. We get the ball. Victor takes out a few minutes. That's Victor. John, he's doing that against us. Stop him. Man, throw the flag. But, it used to make me laugh, though. If he can move like that with that size, I'm already impressed.
I understand why we went and got this. Talk about it, Rambo. You got George Kittle. Now you got your blocking tight end and the other tight end, right?
Yeah.
Well, we're gonna go in the draft. We're gonna get a tight end that can catch that ball, Rambo.
Oh, that's right. We do have a tight end that can block. That's right. Yeah. He can, yeah. In fact, he's that good that George can get a little relief. You know what?
Yeah,
we're reassembling this team in a very intelligent fashion.
Rambo, last year they say he was the #1 blocking tight end in the NFL.
And George Kittle was in the league last year, and he out blocked George. Yes, bring him over here.
Tight end in the NFL. And first when we got him, Rambo first got my homeboy, he a 49 fan. He said, man, what the cow them doing? I saw him on film on it. Then my homeboy called me back. Yeah, I love the dude. I love the dude.
Tell you what, it's gonna be some surprising things. It's going. Anthony, we got to roll. I'm gonna see you Sunday. Can't wait to talk to you and see what's going on next.
All right, Rambo.
All right, fam. Appreciate you, Anthony. Have a great night.
I appreciate you. All right, same to you, Rambo.
Night, fam. Yeah, the Dodgers got beat. It's going to happen every now and then. But the funny thing about the Dodgers, I actually feel sorry for the rest of MLB. The Dodgers have stacked that team in a way. I don't see the Dodgers losing more than 15 or 20 games in a whole season. Shohei Ohtani, he's not only the only show in town now. I mean, you look at, my first baseman was my favorite guy, man. Let me just stop talking baseball. Hey, yo, Alice, get in here, man. Good times. Alice, man, I'm sitting. When I read Brock Purdy crying about how tired they were, I had to laugh. Brock, that's probably something you might have kept to yourself, but I'm feeling you on that, man, because you know what? Playing ball, any kind of ball, maybe except if you're a golfer or something like that, but they do walk a long ways, but it's taxing. At the end of every season, most ball players, even from high school, you're delighted the season is over. Practice every day, putting your body out there like that and going to bed. I mean, not going to bed, passing out to bed, get up and do it again. I mean, it gets crazy. So after 17 weeks of football, into the playoffs, back-to-back years, and then finally we lost, which took all the wind out of the sail. Get your butt up, get your mind right, get out here. We got some unfinished business. Yeah, that's so good and all. But when you get out there, the body says, well, you can have your mind right if you want to, but we ain't ready for this. And then you get beat like we got beat last year. And then you get a lot of injuries usually occur. It's all part of a nasty situation. But, you're feeling on Brock saying maybe too much. And Ellis, that 11th pick, man, it ain't got to be a defensive end. And there may be a policy about the 49ers. Michael McGinty might have broke the policy. The 49ers might go back off that again. We don't pick offensive linemen in the first round. But your feelings. Oh, Tony got hurt?
I mean, it's no.
Oh, no. Okay, go ahead. I'm sorry.
Who got hurt?
Shohei got hurt.
Oh.
Uh-oh. Anyway, go ahead.
Yeah, man. I mean, it was obvious he wasn't telling us anything that we didn't know. He clearly was injured.
I told
I mean, sorry. We were injured. We were hurt and burnt out, from the last few seasons, you know what I mean? 12 game win streaks and, going, to the last game before, the Super Bowl and going to the Super Bowl and, just a lot of wear and tear. Guys playing through injuries, unbeknownst to us, some injuries more severe than others. It's kind of, it's one of those things, man, but there's no surprise and there's no excuse moving forward. You know what I mean? You guys get paid a whole bunch of money.
Millions.
You guys get paid a bunch of money to play this sport, man. So, I think it was more about the depth. It was more about the lack of depth and execution and closing games more than it was in being tired. And I mean, maybe that you could say that those things had an effect on why they were unable to close out those games.
Mm-hmm.
But go on.
There's plenty of times we weren't playing fast. So, and the Dodgers play fast when they play.
Yeah, nobody want to hear that
49ers,
shit.
49ers play fast when they're playing. I mean, that's what everybody talks about, how they move. So.
Yeah. Well, and we were moving slower than normal, you know what I mean, this time around.
Yeah.
We were one of the slowest teams in the NFL. A couple of years ago, we were, us and the Chiefs were the fastest teams in the NFL.
Yes.
That was when we had, Raheem and Tevin Coleman and a lot of other people and stuff like that.
Everybody on defense was moving like crazy. I mean, Eric Armstead and DeForest Buckner creating incredible violence in the middle upon a snap. Oh, man, that team was just too good.
Yeah. Yeah, we was doing the damn thing, man. But, look, who was that made that good point? Tony, shout out Tony from Down Under, the family member who put a really good fact out there is that we don't want to get an 11th round pick is going to, cost us more money. And we still got to pay for all of the rest of our draft picks and our UDFAs as well.
Yeah, I forgot
and
about that.
we gave a lot of guaranteed money to that undrafted defensive tackle. We gave him a couple $100,000, you know what I'm saying? Because, some other teams wanted to get him. I forgot his name, but he's one of he's the big boy, the big young rookie we had that came in and was playing. He's pretty stout, and I expect a lot from him coming in next season.
And playing the middle nose
got
tackle.
paid. He got
yeah.
He got paid some money. They had to pay him because he was getting offers from other teams, and so they had to secure him, and it was a worthy investment. But there's going to probably be a couple of those guys that we might get as UDFAs that are real steals that we're going to need to make sure we have enough money to go around to get all of those guys, including our actual draft picks from 1 to 7. So, and we need more picks. So I hope that we at least go back to 15 to 18 and just get the best player available for what we need right now. I know there's a lot of guys that we all want and, desire, whether it's a defensive tackle, the select D ends that are there. And, they got the running backs. We're not getting a damn running back or a tight end in the first round. And I don't think we're going to get Jalon Walker either, unless we move back and Jalon Walker is available when we're at 15 or 18, which is probably not going to happen. Then we would likely get him, I would say. But we need to gather some more picks. We need some more picks at least between the 3rd and 5th rounds. So if we go back those 3, 4, or 5 even spots, maybe we might go back twice in the first round if there's still just an overly saturated amount of still good quality players that we can get. That's the way to really get fat in this draft, and that's what we need to do. That's what we need to do.
Could be the plan, Ellis. All right, fam. Good stuff as always, Ellis.
Yeah.
I'm gonna tell you what. I'll be back
Appreciate
Sunday,
you, man.
and some of this may even come into fruition. I mean, I always love making these kind of predictions, and then we can come back and say who said it. Hey.
Right. Okay, family. I appreciate you. Thank you for the platform. Shout out Tony Tone and the Dragon family. Shout out Donna, Tanisha. Shout out Frank, Show, Brian, and all the family, man. Love all y'all, and let's stay lifted, man.
And all y'all love you too, fam. I'm telling you right now. All right.
Much love, man. All right, y'all. Have a good night.
You too, Ellis. Appreciate you.
All right. All right.
You know, one person we never mentioned. I'm still worried about Chill Pill Phil. We haven't heard from him since midway last season. Hope he's okay. Who we got next? Oh, of course. It's that time. We ain't had him in a long time. Let's have a rousing applause for Jalen. That first round running back in the first round. Hey, Jalen, I'd apologize to you last week.
What's going on, Ronbo?
Oh, I apologized to you the other day, man. Like, last week, we was talking about some of the 49ers madness. I said, you know what? It may be a running back in the first round. I'm not going to put it past the 49ers because they're starting to get silly. But a lot of this is mind manipulation by media people. Jalen, they know how to get you going in the wrong direction. I mean, some of these guys are really talented writers. They give you reasons and justifications to believe the biggest BS you've ever seen in your life. And they're good at it. But Warner fam, don't buy it. Jalen, everybody, don't buy it. Don't bite. Jalen, come on in, man. I've been missing you, dude.
He going to take a running back first round like a selfish, arrogant son of a bitch. I'm telling you.
Kyle will be slapped right there in the green room, too.
He won't. No, he will not. You know why? Because he has control over the Rumble. This man, it wouldn't be crazy to say that this man probably has more control than John Lynch. It probably wouldn't be crazy to say that.
No, he did. No, he did. Kyle hired John Lynch. Jalen, okay. Here's the thing. But you know what?
To beat Ronbo.
But they've redesignated jobs around the office. Kyle is to do his coaching, so he doesn't have to use so much energies on things that he should not be involved in. And he can go ahead and have his opinion about things. But Kyle's job now is a coach. The redesignation of duties makes Kyle have to stop meddling where he's not in. Unless they ask him, of course, and they will. But he's not the, last word on the draft. He'll have big input, of course, though.
Ronbo, that man is that man is he's a headache, to say the least. He's a headache. I mean, it's year 9. Yeah. It's year 9. Yeah. I mean, it's not. It ain't really much I can say that I haven't been saying the last the 4 seasons.
They've been hurtful things too, by the way.
Yeah.
Jalen, I want to ask you though, because I thought about you too. There's several of y'all I think about when certain things are said by the 49ers. With Brock Purdy coming in and saying they were tired and worn out this last season, what was your first reaction to that?
You said what was my first what?
What was your reaction when you heard about that? If you haven't, Brock came in and said we were tired after going through several years of really going deep into the playoffs and having a letdown in the Super Bowl and having 5 weeks off each year, this past few years, to get back into camp. My monitor got all wet. Brock was crying so hard. So I'm laughing, but I kind of feel him on that. I had sympathy because these guys are human. We got to remember that the body can only take so much in short periods of time.
What was you saying, Ronbo? I didn't catch that part. You said Brock Purdy what?
Brock Purdy claimed. All right. Let me know when you can't hear me. Brock Purdy claimed. Can you hear me now?
Yeah.
Brock Purdy claimed that he and the unit were a little worn down coming into 2023-24 season and tired from all those playoff runs. And, and if 49ers go deep into the playoffs, if 49ers go to the playoffs, they're not the lowest they're going to be is the NFCCG, right? So they went through a lot of traveling, a lot of enduring. And this year, last year, they just snapped.
Ronbo. They not the 49ers are not the only team that go deep. Ronbo, the Chiefs go deep every year.
Okay, name some other ones.
The Bills.
No, they don't.
Yeah, they do. Ronbo, they at least in the AFC Championship.
Every year?
Yeah.
No, they got beat last year.
Ronbo, have we been in it? Ronbo, this past season, we weren't in it. We didn't go on no deep playoff. Ronbo, first of all, we've only gone on a deep playoff
No.
run
Well, I'm talking about before this 2024 season. Every year before that, minus
Ronbo,
2019.
We've missed the playoffs 4 years, right? So it ain't like we've just consistently gone to the playoffs as well.
No, Jalen, we got the 49ers just put in their 5th year in a 2019, 2021, 22.
Ronbo.
Jalen, the 49ers have been in the playoffs every year. We missed one, came close, except for 2.
Ronbo, 2017, 2018.
Well, I'm not talking about 2017, 18. I mean, after they got started. Okay, I'm counting from 20.
You can't do that.
No, I'm just saying, you can't. The rest that you got in 2017 and 18 isn't going to help you in 2021, 22. That's why I said counting from 2019.
Why do we have to start from 2019 instead of when he got there?
Well, they weren't in the playoffs those years. There's no point in counting those. They were fine.
That's what I was saying. We've only made the playoffs like 4 years out of the 8 years he's been here.
Okay, but how many years in a row did they make the playoffs, Jalen?
I think 3.
Okay, let's count them. All right. 2019, they took a break in 2020.
2022 and 2023.
Yeah.
We didn't make it in 2020. We made it in 2021, 2022, and 2023. It was
That's right.
2020,
2020, yeah, we failed. 21, 22, 23. Which one of those years did we not make it? Between 21
17,
and 24.
18, 20.
No, I'm not. Get off those first 2 years. I'm not counting those. I'm talking about since they first got the team up to speed in 2019.
It was 2020, and then it was
because 2021, 22. Oh yeah, they got plenty of rest. I mean, nobody's talking about those. I'm talking about years in a row of being in the playoffs.
Well, we only missed 2020 and then this past season.
Yeah, see? So that's what I'm saying. Coming in this past season, they were a little raggedy. The injuries took over. You can't get players to last forever at that pace with a short rest. They needed more time off. They're going to get it this year. So if that's the case, they better look like hell this year.
They got it last year, Ronbo. What you mean?
Well, yeah, all year long, actually. They got their butt. They got their butt beat every week. God. So, anyway, Jalen, we got to stop.
I think 49ers need to go ahead and start looking to start building up this offensive line for we have a beat up quarterback.
Yeah, I know. Everybody knows that but them. Well, you know what? I'll give them a chance. Let's see what they do in the draft this year.
I pray that we address the O-line. I don't want to see Brock Purdy running for his life every game.
We definitely do. So if they don't, they're going to lose their investment because all that money they plan on paying them, they better think about protecting them. Jay, we got to go, though, because we've been going far too long over the time, especially you and me. We're going like 3 and 4 minutes over. We got to stop. I'll be seeing you Sunday, though.
I can't wait for us to draft that running back in the first round.
Let me throw another flag on Jalen. That's sportsmanlike talk. Jalen, I will see you Sunday. Yeah.
Let me get another shout out.
Another!
Where the hell Gene D been at? I ain't heard from Gene D in a hot second.
Because they don't have a quarterback.
Damn,
wait, I'm sorry.
There, brother.
Gene should be talking. They got Sam Darnold. All right, Jalen.
Gene D been non-existent.
That's true. You know, he's got pride. Unlike the Rams, when you're getting your brains beat up, be quiet. That's all. You know? All right? I'll see you Sunday. Oh, God. Brian, let's please not start any political riffs, okay, Brian, please. That's the one thing we can't do because it just gets real ugly real fast, okay? Tony, ATL.
Ronbo, good evening. How are you?
Tony doing all right. You know, I'm looking for the drafts is a fun thing. This is that high point other than the Super Bowl, you know? Because then, you know, it's really intense. Because everybody's got who they want, and most of us ain't going to get who we want. And then and the ones that do get what they want, I knew it, but we're going to kick some ass now. You know, so it's, you know.
Yeah, the draft, especially the first round pick, never goes the way that most fans think it's going to go as far as
90%
position.
are wrong, right? I mean, I did not see no Ricky Pearsall coming to San Francisco in round one. I didn't even know what a Ricky Pearsall was to begin with, but we got a wide receiver in the first round. But then, you know something, there was a plot because the 49ers knew Debo, and also Debo probably didn't want to bother with him anymore, and they also knew that Brandon Aiyuk was going to be a problem, and they were trying to pad that up before it was too late.
Yeah,
that's what you got to do.
I remember, like I said, the year that I came on to your show, and I had watched a couple episodes, and then I watched you in that draft. Where you got excited over Bosa because the show wanted somebody else, and y'all drafted Bosa.
Oh, you was watching the show.
What you did after that, your excitement, it should have went viral.
I did enjoy that pick. You know, Big Show was angry about
no
that.
football news to speak of, not much. They're just talking about where's Shadur going to go and where is kid from Miami, where they're going to go. Tennessee, where they trade the pick. I know Tennessee has doing a workout with Ward. Matter of fact, I think the workout was today. They had a workout with him, and they're going to do a workout with Shadur Sanders also, but I don't know when.
Tony, you watch both of them play. Who's going to be the best pro?
I like Cam Ward.
Cam Ward says that about himself as well. Anybody don't pick me, know this. I'm going to see you later. I love when dudes be issuing threats. He hadn't even been in the league yet. He's already talking about kicking your butt if you don't pick me. That is a scary man. I kind of like that, though.
Yeah, he's just a little bit of self-promotion there, but, you know, you're supposed to believe in yourself.
Wait a minute. That's not really Brian.
I don't know what we're going to do. Everybody said we're going to take an edge. I don't know what we're going to do. I had this guy named Mad Mike in one of his chats. I came up with a trade proposal, and I told you about this on one of your shows. I want us to trade our first-round pick at 15 to Jacksonville in exchange for Trayvon Walker, the edge rusher who had 10 sacks, and their second-round pick, which is 36. That would be a great trade for us.
Wow.
That way Jacksonville will have 2 first-round picks, pick number 5 and pick number 15.
Wow. That you got it. Does your team propose anything like that?
I don't think so. You know, they don't listen to fans, but I would love it because if we made that trade, gave up our first-round pick, we're getting the first pick in the draft of 2022. So we got the edge rusher, and he doesn't have to develop. And we get an extra second-round pick for losing our first-round pick, which is the fourth pick in the second round.
Yeah.
That would be a great trade.
Yeah, it would. There's so many great
check
deals
this
to be
out.
made.
In the 3-4 defense, we make that trade. Trayvon Walker on one end and Leonard Floyd on the other end as your outside linebacker edges.
Oh, right. You guys already got Leonard, so yeah.
That's right.
If
I was the GM, I would already been on the phone with Jacksonville.
You know, how come it's so easy to see these things from afar, but within the organizations, they seem to miss it? It's very interesting.
Yeah. And like we said, when they be making these picks, like the year we wanted Vita Vea, like y'all like the Vita Vea. I can't remember who we picked. Like, what? We picked this guy, and it wasn't even the defensive line position.
Okay.
It's always something odd.
Tony, hold on. Hey, yo, Shane. Guys, if I catch anybody calling Brian a PDF, I already warned you about that last week. That's one of the things I'm not going to allow. Stop it, or you're gone. All right? Yeah, Brian, I didn't see it earlier. Okay? I thought I got rid of somebody last week. It's the same jerk. Dude, don't do it. You want to stay in here and have fun, getting your rocks off, being an idiot, go ahead. But you will not do that. All right. Go ahead, Tony.
But we've been, me and 49 Brian,
let him out.
Beating that clown up all night. I don't take him seriously. He's a bum.
No, Shane's gone. He's not going to bother anybody now. We're
McMahon, you're a bum. I'm saying it live. You're a bum.
You guys can use certain names on it. It's okay, guys. You cannot use PDF. That's not. We like women that come in here, and they're not going to be bothered with that. So, okay, go ahead, Tony.
Yeah. So like you said, Ronbo, you said this for years. The draft is kind of like a crapshoot, isn't it?
Yeah, it's always in the dark. You hope you got something. Some guys look glorious coming out of school, and then they get to the pros, and it's like Mike Tyson says. They get smacked in the mouth, and all of a sudden things are changed. It's a grown man's game, Tony. You can't come in there being a child anymore. You got to grow up quick.
And Ronbo, you had a caller, a guy that hadn't called in a while. He was very insightful. He was talking about y'all's draft. He's a Niner fan. You hadn't heard from him in a while. And he was talking about how the Niners, when they picked Trey Lance, that wasn't the quarterback position. It wasn't of need. Y'all
that was
came off
Trey.
the Super Bowl.
Yeah.
When you picked Pearsall at the time, it wasn't a need. He said, why are the 49ers, why are they avoiding drafting an offensive lineman in the first round? Because that is a need. He made a good point.
Well, no, it's absolutely a good point. And the 49ers have policy, I think. Well, we walked on Christian Wirth, and we picked up somebody else and had a chance to get him. Wirth is an all-pro. And I think there's a policy. The 49ers don't pick offensive linemen in the first round because Chris Forrester says, no, you guys got an opportunity to pick yourself a playmaker. You go ahead and get your playmaker. I can make an offensive lineman out of pretty much anybody. I said, Kyle, John, you guys know better than that. Tell Chris to know his role and just Chris, thank you, but just we'll handle this. Oh, man.
Especially after the 2024 season, when you had some offensive line issues, where Brock had to run for his life sometimes. He had to get the ball early sometimes.
He was running all the
time.
You
might want to reconsider that policy.
Well, damn right. So we're going to see.
The second highest tackle in the draft, like I think the Bears are going to take that tackle from LSU or the one from Texas. I know you like the one from Texas.
Oh, yeah.
At pick number 10.
Yeah.
That's I think the first offensive lineman going to go. And y'all got the very next pick.
That's a big dude. I mean, that dude, he has the makings. You look at him, he's on his clip. He's got good footwork, speed, knows how to. He looks like a young Trent Williams. But is he really?
Yep. Yep. So
it's so scary, Tony.
You guys got a decision to make, and I've been hearing that Pittsburgh might try to trade up from 2021, trade up to get a quarterback.
Really?
But that don't sound like Pittsburgh style.
No, that's not Steelers style.
Yeah, that's just scuttlebutt. Somebody talking.
You know, the rumors going around, they're waiting for one of the Manning to get. I say, okay, so if they're waiting for Manning, that means they plan on getting a butt handed to him again this year. You know, if you can get Manning next year, he's got a reputation and a name that's going to make him number 1 or 2, right? So it's going to be interesting to see how that works out. They might, man, that's, wow. Who's going to be the last
Cam
person?
Hayward, he said on some podcast, Cam Hayward said, talking about Aaron Rodgers. Do you want to be a Steeler or not?
He backed.
You know, Aaron Rodgers.
He walked it back the next day, though.
Organizations are going to kiss his butt.
I don't know, man. Aaron Rodgers is such a clown. He's become a real ass clown anyway for the last 3 seasons. Aaron, just shut up, Aaron. Just you want to play with him.
Ronbo, what have you always said? When they traded him to the New York Jets, what did you say? After the first year, he got hurt, he came back, and then the Jets struggled this past season. What did you say?
I'm trying to remember.
The Green Bay Packers are sitting back laughing all this.
Yeah, because Aaron, Tony, anytime you lay down an entire novel in the media from a team you left, talked about what you didn't appreciate, some of the things that need fixing, things you're not going to, I'm going to just quit, or if I'm considering retirement. You're doing everything you can to embarrass that organization before you leave. That's so out of line. Just walk away. If you don't want to play there, just go. All that other crap is unnecessary.
Green Bay's been very successful, 2 playoff appearances the last 2 years.
Which makes him look like a damn fool. So,
Yep, exactly.
Well, Tony,
Ronbo, I saw this video that the NFL Network showed.
Yeah.
DK Metcalf working out. Man, that dude can lift some weights. I didn't know he could lift that much. He was lifting like almost 380 pounds.
No, that's a strong dude, man. I mean, Tony. I mean,
Yeah.
DK's a specimen. That's why I knew. That's why I was a huge fan. I wanted DK Metcalf. We had Debo versus Metcalf, and I wanted Metcalf to start with. I didn't know that much about Debo. All I did was watch clips of the DK. Look at this dude. Can't nobody guard him, and they couldn't, right? And the dude reached up with all that size, and a defender below him just bounced off him like a piece of paper. I said, DK! I kept yelling that before the draft. And we got Debo. And the rest is history. So, you know.
Ronbo, do you think that if Shadir Sanders slips to pick number 4, where the Giants pick, they got Russell Wilson as their starter.
Not going to matter.
Famous Jameis as their backup. I'm hearing reports they would take Shadir Sanders anyway.
They're going to take him anyway because those other two guys are just one-year contracts anyway. Shadir can sit there and learn. But, yeah. Tony, that's got to be a comment. We can open that one up for an hour and a half. We got to go, though. I'll see you Sunday. I keep getting Friday, but I'll see you Sunday, fam. Always appreciate
you round knuckleheads in here. Just wait. Stafford's going to throw over 23 picks. He's gonna piss Adams off, Devontae Adams off. It's gonna happen. Stay tuned, dude. Ronbo, you have a good weekend, and I'll see you Sunday evening.
Looking forward to it. Night, Tony.
Take care.
You too. Don't let Stafford have a pick season this year. I swear to God. Oh, my. Even no matter what the 49ers do, if Stafford's over there throwing one pick after another and got Rudy, and I have to go find Rudy, because normally you don't have to go find Rudy. He's always in your damned face, right? If I have to, I went to Rudy's page about 2 or 3 times over on X. I had a wonderful time. I just started taking his little tweets and started picking them off one at a time and saying, hey, Rudy, that didn't work out too well, did it? Oh, God, yes. So I get a chance to work with you. What you got? What do we got here? Oh, Terradome. Terradome, come on in, T. We was about to say goodnight.
Hey, man. Sorry I'm a little bit late. I just wanted to hear everything and hear all the folks talk about, we can't do this and we can't do that, man. We've been here before. As you were talking to the other caller, he mentioned about, the years that Cal were here, and you didn't want to bring up the 2017, 2018. But he did. He wanted to count that as, and I can see why you wanted to keep it, and he wanted to say it. But after 2019, man, we went to the Super Bowl. We lost to them Chiefs. 2020, we just had the injury-riddled season. 2021, we lost to the Los Angeles Rams in that what's the kid that just dropped the ball?
Jaquaski. NFCCG, right?
Yeah. And then the next year we lose to Philadelphia with the UCL injury to Brock Purdy.
Yeah.
And the next year we go to the Super Bowl and lose in overtime against arguably the greatest quarterback. I think, some would agree
of all time.
Of this era.
Or this generation, yeah.
Of this generation, yeah. I'm a Tom Brady guy. I'm a Tom Brady.
But you counted 4 years in a row of nonstop battling. The 49ers made, even that year they were dirt. They mathematically were almost still in the playoffs. Remember that year? I didn't want them to go that year. I think it was after 2020. We had a bunch of injuries, but we still had one more game. It was a scenario of if the Rams lose or if somebody lost and we win, we're in. Somebody else had. It was one of those stupid scenarios, right? And I think we didn't make it. So I was glad we did. But anyway, the 49ers have been battling their ass off for a long time. So that's why I wasn't mad. And Terry, how do you feel about Brock Purdy saying we ran out of gas?
It's a war of attrition. It happens. After 2-3 successful years, they say a playoff game is as intense and driven and takes as much out of your body as 2 regular season games. And the NFL is set up like this. It's set up for parity. You keep getting successful, they're going to take your coaches. You're going to lose some people in free agency. You're going to
get too expensive.
It's going to wear you down to be that deep into the playoffs and into the postseason every year. It's supposed to happen like that, but I think we got the nucleus and we can reload. I ain't going to disrespect the Rams. They looked real good last year. They made some wonderful draft choices, man. Got some Florida State guys, and Kyron Williams. He balled out. So did Matt Stafford. I can't take that away from him.
Tear it up. Wait, hold on.
We ain't rooted people,
Tear it up. Hold on.
Cardinals, amen.
They did. Tear it up. Tear it up. Hold on just a second. Okay, see, Rams, unlike you, some of us have some class. See, you'll never hear, but I've never heard a Ram fan come in and say, well, you know what? I did hear marketing pro every now and then say something good about the 49ers. But otherwise, the rest of them are all, never mind. But go ahead, Terry. I just want everybody up. I want to point that out.
They're what you call new money. They're not used to being billionaires, and we come from the Rockefellers and the John Paul Gettys.
People got class.
We know good football when we see it, and the boys executed this year. And glory to God, they got 2 wins against us. Obviously, the referee didn't call that pass interference, but hey, it's a win nonetheless. Debo would have dropped, but a win nonetheless. Y'all got it.
Bell would have dropped. But they got it.
We're farther than we did. You looking nice,
right?
But Ronbo, it's some draft. I just wanted to call and just tell you some of my draft crushes.
All right.
They're going to go later on in the round. Obviously, we got to get thicker at defensive tackle and edge. But going a little further down remember these names. I'm gonna throw them at you real good. Membo, that big boy from Missouri.
I've seen his name.
Get him. Yeah. There is a safety at the University of Texas, a free safety, Andrew Makuba, as in Cuba Gooding Jr.
I've heard that name.
He reminds me of Deshaun Golson or Earl Thomas. That is
a smackdown dude.
We got strong safety. Yeah. We need somebody playing center field. This kid can do it. As a young man at Texas Tech playing tight end named Jalen Connors. You can get him later on in the draft, man, and he'll knock your socks off, giving me Delaney Walker vibes. And there is a linebacker at Cal named Teddy Buchanan. To look at him is to look at Fred Warner.
Oh, Jr. Somebody said that the other day, Jared. Okay.
Maybe they were separated at birth. They look the same.
This is reconfirmation.
They fly around the same. I don't know.
No. Somebody mentioned him the other day.
Projected to go low.
And the first thing I said was,
really talk to me about
Cal? How did he end up at Cal then? But I can't underestimate a football player is a football player, no matter where he goes to school. There could be all kind of circumstances surrounding that, but still. But Terry,
I don't know. But when
you.
I look at the film, Ronbo, he moves around really, really good. He avoids blocks and he flies around. He has good angles. He's quick. He got that long hair like Fred Warner.
You know what?
He looks a lot like Fred Warner. Number 10, University of Cal's name is Teddy with an E.
He's
Buchanan.
He's going to be available in the second or third round too, because I bet you he's going to fly into the radar. But Terry, we got to roll though, because we got to think here. We always go way too long. Everybody,
brother. I appreciate it, man.
Appreciate
Thank you so much for your platform.
Brother. Oh, always love to see your name flashing in there. All right. Terry Dome's got his own site. He runs content. Check him out. He runs live on X every now and then. Usually I see it in passing. Terry Dome, like it sounds. TAREEDOM. Terry Dome. Appreciate you, fam.
Sir. All right, man. Thank you, man. Thank you, Ronbo.
Thank you, fam. And it is. It really is. J-Dog, and it's late out, and J-Dog announced all the way out in Boston, home of the Celtics. J-Dog.
Yo, Ronbo, what's up, brother? It's been too long, man. How you been, man? What's going on, my
brother?
Doing
all right, man. Just riding along, watching the wave, man. Watching what they go do. Because the 49ers did what we didn't think they was going to do. They just told everybody to get the hell out. And then, everybody was at anybody. People at Pro Bowl didn't matter. You got to go, baby. Debo, we love you, but you got to get up. You ain't got to go home, but you got to get up out of here. And Talanoa Funga, Trey Greenlaw, you don't be here no longer. We ain't got enough money for you. Say goodnight. So I say, and ask John Lynch, John, what you gonna do? We go. Hey, we got a plan. You go fix this in the draft.
Yeah, man.
That kind of scared me.
They said he said he got a plan, and I just want to, as always, when I come on the platform, to just say Thank you to production. Thank you, Ronbo. Thank
Hey,
you to the
my pleasure,
faithful, real American team, the 5-time Super Bowl champion. This is JAHDAE, Austin in the mother effing house on Ronbo Sport, the president of the Kyle Shanahan I Hate You fan club. And I don't really
I
want to
forgot
call
about
for that.
He's got a business card with that on it.
Oh man, I really should, man, because this window that is closed, slammed, window shut, man, he's directly responsible for it. But here we are now in this situation, like you alluded to. All our core guys, well, not all, but a lot of the core guys are gone. Your Greenlaws, your Hufangas, and this and that. And the Greenlaw thing kind of hurt me a little bit, but I do understand it. But it's just, it's gonna be just a new day when you're talking about the direction that we're going in. You know, when you get rid of these players, which is understandable to some degree, but it's like, what do we expect to do? Do we expect to compete for championships this year? Is that even realistic? Can you really, just say, all these draft picks are gonna be contributors enough to where we're contending again? I don't know. And the thing about Kyle Shanahan is he plays the player politics, so most likely the young guys, he might not even play some young guys that we need. You know what I'm saying? And so, Shanahan is just such a, and I'm so surprised that nobody really harps on the player politics that he continuously he does. The Jordan Mason thing was just gave me a headache and want to make
wasn't it? Actually, and got to see him.
Oh man. But yeah, it sure did, man. You know what I'm saying? And I'm not one of these guys that I appreciate what Debo has given us, man. I mean,
I ain't hating
man, these 49ers, man, they're gonna put me in my grave, man, because there's always something going on with us, man. I tell you, man, it's just so much, man. But I just don't know, man. With the 11th pick, Ronbo.
Yes.
I like the guy Jalen Walker out of Georgia, the linebacker.
Oh, God, yes.
And I think he can fly to us. I think my boy who was just on the call before me, Pterodon, shout out to him, man, because I listen to him a lot, man. And he was I don't know if the tackle that he was talking about will slide down to us. Hopefully he does, but there's a lot of guys in the 33 picks that we can probably get for the offensive line. But what we really need, especially when you're talking about Salah coming in, and we need to bolster up this defense, man. When guys are running the ball down our throat, that's not us, man.
Yeah,
we can't take that.
That has got to stop.
That's number one right there for me. So I want to go with that number 11 pick. I want to go defensive tackle or linebacker. But I believe there's a couple good free agents like Calais Campbell. I don't know if he's available. Maybe sign him to a 1-year deal. He's a guy about 6'8", big monster inside. Just 4 years.
And
playing with a rookie.
I thought I saw him get signed.
In the leadership. Did he get signed?
I thought I saw his name. Maybe not.
I thought he was available because what we was with Miami last year.
But you know what happens now, J-Dog? They're going to wait. What they do is, players like him, they wait until the final cut, and because now the player is desperate. And say, look, we get $2.50 an hour. So they're going to lowball you when you end up like, have you heard about what's his name yet? The guy, every year, what is his name? He used to play with the Texans and hasn't found a place since. Edge rusher.
What, Houston? Clowney.
JAHDAE, yeah.
You mean Clowney?
Yeah. JAHDAE.
I know. He's like the Kirk Cousins of the defensive end because he'll sign real late, but he'll get a bag though. You know what I mean? A little 1-year bag.
I know, but JAHDAE. The Browns had it they actually respected him and signed him normally that 1 year, and he's on the line with the guy like one of the best of all time, and they still couldn't get the job done. Man. I don't know.
Still couldn't get the job.
David is.
But yeah, I just Ronbo, I really truly believe, with the signing of Salah, defense is It's got to be the focus. You know what I mean? And if you really think about it, Ronbo, if you really think about it, you know, you still got CMC. You saw Ricky Pearsall come on at the end of the year. You still got George Kittle, who arguably, excuse my language, is the best tight end in football with Kelsey coming down.
Kelsey
you
don't
got
block.
Brock Purdy,
Kelsey's
who's
a one-trick
capable
pony.
quarterback.
Yeah.
You got third and Jawan. Juice is back. So you got playmakers on offense. You could probably use some speed, but you got guys that can move the chains. You got guys that can make plays. You know what I mean? But you got to get that offensive line straightened out. That's number one.
So you can run the ball
Jake
anyway,
Brendo, we can't go through a season with Jake Brendo as a starting center.
I
Like,
know.
just stop
Everybody talks about him. Chris Forster says nothing but nice things about him too. It's unreal.
I don't understand it. You know what I mean? I don't understand it. But you know, I think Trent will be back. McKivitz wasn't as bad as I thought he would be. I kind of was on your platform, kind of dragging him through the mud. He wasn't as bad as
Trent Williams. Who?
No, McKivitz.
Oh yeah, no, yeah.
Cole McKivitz.
You agree with me, right?
He wasn't as bad as
last
I
year.
thought. Like he's serviceable.
You know what though?
He's serviceable.
Because I want him on the bench because Purdy was making sure that he didn't get hurt. You know, Purdy's the kind of guy on the field. Bam, bam. I need to hit somebody. And he goes and looks for people. See, that's what a lot of offensive linemen don't do. Purdy was helping McKivitz out on numerous occasions. Next year, watch and see if McKivitz's still on the other side. Watch Purdy. He makes short work of his guy some of the time or seals him off in a way that he has nothing to do with the play. His reflexes so quick. If he sees McKivitz getting beat, he can get over there quickly to cut that off. Brock doesn't know how many times he got saved because Purdy stepped into the situation. He was sliding over like, you know, in basketball, when, you know, your main defender, the defender behind him slides over after he gets beat. That's Purdy. He was out there playing basketball with McKivitz. I said, look at that.
He gets to the second level with no problem. You know what I mean? And I got before I hang up with you, Ron, I got two more things. Let me get off my chest. Can you believe Aaron Banks got like $77 million from the Packers? My goodness! Like what are they seeing? Aaron Banks is like
I don't. You know, he's big. That is something to talk about, though. J-Dog, we got to roll. I'm going to tell you what, man, good to hear from you. It's always good to hear from you. You're a crowd favorite, bro. People talk about you after you leave.
Always good to hear from you, brother. And Brock Purdy, $45 million, that's all we could do. After that, man, I don't know. I got nothing for you, Brock. I love you, Brock, but come on, man. You know what I mean? You twisted my arm, baby. But appreciate the platform, Ronbo Sports. Hit that like, hit that subscribe. Boston in the house. I love y'all. Love the chat. Love you, Ronbo. Thank you, bro. Peace out from Boston, baby.
All that back at you. You know this. J-Dog, looking forward. I hope we got some time. Get in there as we can on Friday or Sunday and get you in here. All right?
Peace, bro. Peace, bro.
Peace, fam. All right. And when that J-Dog wraps it up, yeah, B-Bob Jones, you know what I'm talking about. Purdy opened up them holes for the window. McKivitz, though, he was getting better as a run blocker. Don't depend on because how many times you see McKivitz and the dude's gone? Yeah, at that time when Purdy got hurt on that play, I got so scared. He got right up and kept playing, but I said, get up, Purdy, get up, man. Took him a minute. Finally got up. He's okay. Don't those moments when you see one of your primetime guys laying down, rolling around, and looking like he ain't going to be able to get up, that is scary, ain't it? You know, because the guys you don't really, you can see somebody coming off the bench, they'll be fine. They never get hurt. They never get hurt. Down at Empire and Ronbo Sweats ran those Ram dirtbags. I don't know why they can't. Anyway, Terradome. Fam, see you guys. Oh, yeah, 49 Brian. Brian, I thought that was a deal. I was out of character for you. But listen, I'm sorry. I didn't see Shane McClown. Yeah. Just let me know when these guys are doing that. We'll hunt them down. Fam, I'll see you Sunday. And see if we can find what's going on in Ninerville. Thanks for the contributions, fam. Always appreciated. Please don't leave without subscribing if you haven't done so. We want you to be a part of the family. Hit like. Hey. I'll see you Sunday. A Niner! was.